Ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of the week has finally come to us. Our weekends are over and a hard week of work once again starts. However, we would like to dive in a little bit and reduce a little bit of that stress and that pain, and we'd like to bring you some coverage of Pauper.
Yes, yeah.
Now, second week for me, and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
I'm a Pauper newbie, so...
That's good then, so we're both as bad as each other. Excellent. Yeah. What are we going to do?
I have been looking at the format, so I'm not completely alone in knowing what cards what. So I do know bits and bobs, so it should be good. I think we should go straight in.
Yep, so we're going to send down to feature match. We'll be back momentarily. I think we will go there now.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, right, looks they've got their playmats here now. Very nice. Using the John Avon Forest art here, which is very, very nice. I do like that artwork. I have them in my general list as well. And it looks like some kind of Pyromancer style of playmat on the left-hand side here as well. It looks really, really nice. Do like looking at those sort of new playmats. However, we have just got John over. John's just going over to make sure that everything's going all right, and they're going to start playing. So they are. It's got the lands as well, looking absolutely fantastic.
Apparently there's a speaker behind us that can hear us. We're attached to a speaker somewhere.
One second.
Do you know how to deal with the speaker?
Hello.
Alright, so can you hear me now if I'm talking? There we go. So, oh no, I can hear myself still behind the speaker. I'm talking to myself. That's terrifying. Oh well. So, on to the match at hand. We have Elves versus what looks like a Slivers on their hands. We see a Birch Law Ranger to start with from Russell. We see a tap land interplay here at Game 1 Life. Sorry, we're just going to try and work out why we can hear ourselves in the speaker behind us.
Hello.
So, we see Aquarium Ranger here from Russell as his second player of the turn seems to have solved it. Can't hear myself anymore. Can you hear you?
No, it's gone.
There we go. So, hopefully sorted for the evening. But anyways, back to the match at hand. So we see a Birch Law Ranger attack here, putting Alex down to 19. We're going to actually get the players to push their cards across slightly. You tell them what Aquarium Ranger does, because it's a legacy player instead.
That's right, yeah. Aquarium Ranger is a very, very good card. Let's see if we can get it up on the system here. I believe it is you return a forest to your hand and you get to untap a creature that you control. It's a very, very, very good card. Usually played with the sort of turn 1 Green Sun Zenith. Very, very fancy card. I do like playing against it and with this as well. Let's see if we can get it up on the...
We've got Predatory Sliver as our 2-drop. I remember that one from Limited. Never played that one apart from in Limited. We'll go with it, see what it looks like.
I think that's how you spell it, but there you go.
And
it looks like the Huntmaster, right?
Aquarium Ranger.
Lovely.
Return a forest you control to its owner's hand, untap target creature, use ability only once each turn.
Per turn.
Obviously very good when you have Priest of Titania, when you're making a boatload of mana.
It certainly is. And in respect to Legacy as well, you get the whole sort of Dryad Arbor untap. Yes,
that is true. That is also another way of doing it. We're going to see Lisa Lana Huntmaster, the 4-mana 3/3. Whenever you cast an elf, you make a 1/1 elf token. Now, unless Alex can somehow get rid of it, I feel that this could start to go a little bit south. We do have a Leader Stampede. We looks like we have a quick sliver.
It's a Sentinel Sliver, I believe.
Sentinel
Sliver. There looks like
another Predatory
Vines
Sliver.
Of Vastwood, I think.
Oh, we'll soon find out.
Looks like a Vines of Vastwood.
Well, we're attacking for 2. So must be something in hand there. What we're going to have to do is actually probably pull up some of the slivers as we go along.
That's right, yeah.
Because we haven't seen the slivers for a... Oh, it does help if I could spell. Let's get rid of the extra U that we didn't need. And pull up a Predatory Sliver, hopefully spelled correctly this time. Yes, Predatory Sliver. So it's a 2-mana 1/1. All sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. Now, obviously, remember with slivers, they all help each other. It is a hive, as they recall it. As Sliver Hive is one of the lands you got in the most recent M15 set, I believe.
Yes,
Sliver
I believe
Hive
so,
was
yes.
It actually was a standard deck at one point, for those of you who can believe. But we're going to see another Birch Law Ranger here. We're going to see the trigger of the Elisa Lana Huntmaster. And as big as these slivers are,
another elf.
As big as these slivers are, could well start getting out of hand if Russell can put together any number of
very quickly
elves, especially when he's casting one, and if he is able to draw the melody, 4 mana blue, draw a card for each of your type. It looks
so do you want to explain how they make blue mana?
Well, they only they do actually have an island.
They do actually have an island,
but it's mono forests. But Birch Law Ranger has a very interesting rules text, which is you may tap 2 elves and make a colour of any. You may make 1 mana of any colour and add it to your mana pool.
Right, I see. Yeah, I've seen they do play some trumpet blast as well on the side. I think I've seen, and some other ball.
They have ability to make 5 colours of mana.
Yes,
it is a mono-green deck that is 5 colours. That is the best part about this format.
Do you know how many lands that Russell's playing?
He's playing about a dozen of them from what I counted when I got to see the deck beforehand.
Is he playing it with the land grant or
I don't believe it's got land grant because he's got more lands than the standard deck. Right. It looks like he's decided to go, no, I'm just going to make sure I hit my land drops. Because past the first land drop, land grant's fine, but it's not really what you want. But obviously we're going to see another sliver here for Alex. Now what I'm going to do, because neither of us have ever seen the sliver deck before, particularly, is use the old mobile phone, try and work out how to use it, and we are going to go for Pauper Sliver.
So we've got 2 Sentinel Slivers here, so this Predatory Sliver is actually going to be quite big this turn.
It's got a large amount of toughness at least.
I believe the Sentinel Sliver is just +1/+1.
Let's have a look. So, going to see what it decides to do. So we're just going to put the Birch Law Ranger. We've got one of those already, so we probably don't need any more of those.
Welcome to those of you that are just joining the stream as well. We are in the middle of this Pauper match here between Alex Wilson and Russell Murtlock Bentley. And we've got Slivers on the left and Elves on the right.
Definitely one that we did. Elves probably more likely to be seen.
Yes.
Not so much for the Sliver deck. definitely more of the off-the-wall type deck.
Slivers is one of those sort of old school.
Oh, it's old school.
Yeah.
It's a real old school deck because we see the island off the top.
Yeah.
So let's try and work out which of the slivers it was.
Yeah, he is tapping the island. So there's that distant melody that you're talking about. Distant melody, I believe, right? That was what you said?
Yep. So it looks like he has 2 sinew slivers, 1 and a white, 1/1. All slivers get +1/+1. So yes.
Slivers. Okay.
Sinew
Sentinel Sliver was the
Sentinel's the vigilance one.
Vigilance one,
which is 2/2 gives all slivers vigilance. But we see a good-looking hand here. Looks like there is
drawn 5 cards of his distant melody, which seems good.
Good number. It looks like we have a Lead the Stampede, another Lisalana Huntmaster. We have a Elvish Visionary in hand as well, and that is a pretty good set of cards.
Solid amount of damage coming in as well. There looks like he's going to cast another Huntmaster. No, that's the Timber.
So we're going to see the
Elven Vanguard.
Elvish Vanguard into the battlefield, gets the trigger, stacks them nicely, so he should get a +1/+1 counter onto his Elvish Vanguard.
That's right.
And the problem with the camera is Elves does take up a lot of space, and probably should let the players know that we can only see so much of their mats. But we will deal with that momentarily, probably into game 2. Go and tell Russell, you only have so much space to work with. You're not allowed to use any more. You must be more careful with your space and start double stacking your Elves. You're going to see the players just make sure they know exactly how many counters they are getting. This Sliver deck is very interesting because I haven't heard of some of these before. Like I haven't heard of Talon Sliver, which apparently gives all slivers first strike.
I was going to say, Now Blur Sliver, I believe, is the haste Sliver.
Yep.
They do get I'm imagining it sees Blur Sliver. Their Sedge Sliver, I guess, that's not a common, is it?
Muscle Sliver.
Muscle Sliver, probably another +1/+1 effect.
Yep, all slivers get +1/+1. Spinneret
Sliver.
Sliver.
As opposed to, I imagine that's probably Reach.
Yep, it's pretty good. Let's go with Virulent Sliver.
Poison?
Oh yes, Poisonous 1, because that's what it was called when it originally came out. We have a Sidewinder Sliver.
Interesting. Probably some kind of bounce effect or tap?
Nope.
No?
Do you remember the wonderful rules tech that was flanking?
Okay, so a flank,
Yeah, so it gives whenever a creature without flanking blocks a sliver, blocks.
Guess -1/-1, right?
Yeah. It's a really weird mechanic, that one is. And obviously, Plated Sliver is the other one that the deck is active for.
+1?
Yes.
Yeah.
A white mana 1/1, and then obviously some of them then run Journey to Nowhere, Commune with Nature, but obviously we're seeing Lead the Stampede here for Alex instead, as we see.
Seems like a suitable thing. These are 2 sort of very creature-orientated decks.
Oh, wow, that is That is
Aspect of the Hydra, lovely.
Lethal.
It is lethal.
So because what you have is you have I can't remember the cards, but it's a 2-mana 1/2, which gives target creature +X/+X, where X is the number of elves you control. Yeah, Timberwall L. We'll have a look for that
Timber
as we go
something.
along. But obviously, one of the
Let's
really
try it.
powerful things.
Say in the chat if you know. Timber something, right? I believe.
But the really good thing is it gives +X/+X. Actually, we'll find out because Elves is apparently the number 1 deck.
It is
in
the number 1 deck,
Pauper
yeah,
at the
from what I
moment.
looked
It was
at.
Tron last week.
Oh, really?
Funnily enough, yes, Tron was the most popular one last week.
I guess it got a lot of recordings over the weekend.
Timberwatch Elf.
Timberwatch Elf. Okay,
Yes.
good.
So tap Timberwatch Elf. Target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of elves you control, and then you Aspect of Hydra, which is a 1-mana massive pump effect equal to your devotion to green. Yeah, I think we searched it up last week.
Yeah,
But what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look at the players. We're going to make sure that the
Go to the sideboard now.
sideboards are done, but we're also going to move Russell's thing across so he realises how much of his playmaking, so we see more of his lovely elf deck. I will be back in a moment.
Yep. Perfect. So they're just shuffling up now, and they're going to be sorting through their sideboard, seeing what exactly they can bring in for each matchup. And the Elvish deck, I think, has game 1 pretty much most times against Slivers. Slivers are slightly a bit slower coming out of the gate, and Elves can just dump their hand a lot faster. There isn't much in the way of commons from Slivers that mana ramp you as much as the Elves have. So being able to dump more of your hand onto the table is going to be better in this particular matchup. So the 2 creature matchups, they do need to have their mana, and the fast mana, I think, is what would make it better in this match.
Yes, I think I think Elves will always have a distinct advantage against a deck that doesn't really have much removal.
Yes.
Because it pretty much does its own thing, which is pretty much more unfair than anything else any other deck can do. It goes a lot wider, and also, as we just saw on the scene there, it can deal 21 points of damage in 1 turn.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good thing to do, right?
Yeah, I don't really see that in most other formats, off of 1 creature attacking for that much damage in 1 turn, but then this is a very different format, which is the wonderful part about Pauper.
Legacy Light, as I've heard it being called.
It's wonderful. It's like heaven. You can play Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm, Gush,
Strange
and
enough, all of
Timberwatch
those
Elf,
were
apparently.
Nearly all of those were then
Banned and
cards.
restricted.
Yeah.
Shows you how good the format is. But it's actually interesting because those cards broke certain other formats. But actually, when you look at this one, they don't really break it.
No, because the power level of the cards coming out there's some really, really good cards. However, you're backed up with cards like Spy Golem, which are great in this particular format, but it's still a 6-mana 2/4 with flying.
Yeah.
So if that's sort of like the top of the power level for flying creatures, and you're playing Gush, which is a fantastic magic card, but your payoff is getting a couple of...
That's the thing, and that's the thing. If anyone playing Pauper ever wonders why we're allowed to play cards like Brainstorm and Ponder and Preordain, is because, let's be honest, the payoff of what you're going to draw is pretty bad.
But
then that is the wonderful part.
And tendrils and
but that's the beautiful part of this format, is you can play some really iconic cards and them not be completely overpowered. And if you look at a standard room of Pauper players, yes, you have people who'll play the Gushes, their counter spells, an actual factual counter spell. So blue counter target spell. But then you get people who go, actually, I don't need to play these cards. I can play mono black control. The premier control it being mono black
control. That's right.
The people over there are the best to do.
Just speak to the guy on the desk there. Thank you. So tonight, let's have a look at the attendance. We have
28 players.
28 players
at the moment, and apparently I think a couple of more people were on the way in.
Yes,
so
some are on the way. Yeah.
A very good turnout.
Yeah, no, 28 seems fantastic for this particular.
More people than they get for the Modern and Legacy nights, I believe.
That's very true.
Definitely true of last Modern. Last week
this is the attendance, I think, will only grow over time.
Oh, it's
because
great.
Pauper is so much easier to access as opposed to these other formats where money is going to be an issue. Money is always going to be an issue, and having the availability of cards as well. So commons were printed in abundance. They were commons, so they are in abundance.
They are really
except
easy
for certain commons, but the much older ones like Oubliette has shot up in price, which is fine. That's do you know what the hardest card I've tried to get hold of so far is? Augur of Bolas. Augur of Bolas is the hardest card. I've found more copies of Chainer's Edict than I have of Augur of Bolas, and that's terrifying because that card was printed so many times. But actually, the wonderful thing about Pauper, and we can talk about how easy it is to access. It doesn't cost anything, but also it attracts a lot of people who aren't interested in playing like 3 turns of a game before their opponent landed them very true.
A Scarab God, or they landed a combo kill in Legacy, or Modern, they've been locked out of the game by land to control, because that simply doesn't happen here, and that's one of the wonderful parts. Yes, you're playing very powerful cards in in sort
you
of a singularity
get to play your
of
game
it.
plan for bits, don't you? So
everyone plays their game. Like I don't think there's any true devoted combo decks. There are some that have an element of combo kill, like Affinity, when you can Atog them out of nowhere.
There's the
but it's all on board.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing.
There's the one
you
with
can see it
lots
coming.
of spells that it can play in a turn, and then it transfers the power and toughness.
Yes.
Inside out. So inside out combo.
But again, it's all on board.
That's
And there aren't any
dice to some interaction.
Dice to Doomblade.
Yeah.
But then that's one of the really nice things is it's very easy to interact, especially when it's got like 1 toughness and you just tragic flip it. But again, that's one of the things. Everything in this format is on a very similar power level. And that is a wonderful part as we see a second Elvish Mystic, the very nice promo version of Elvish Mystic, powering up our Elvish Vanguard to a 2/2. And we see
Elvish Mystic too good for standard now.
Yes,
isn't it?
definitely too good for standard. One mana Elves is definitely too powerful.
It's just been removed since. What was the Teema? Do you remember the Teema? 2-mana Teema thing with Morph.
Oh, Rattleclaw Mystic.
Rattleclaw Mystic. That's it. Yeah, I think that was the last.
Make turn 3 Stormbreath Dragon. But it was that essence of it. Was like it was a great card in the Jund Monsters deck. It was a great card in Collector Ideas, and turns out it's a great card in this format as well. We're not allowed them anymore, so getting your fill of it in here is even better. As we see a Sylvan Ranger enter the battlefield, finding Russell probably his island, which. Is an elf, so it's a good way of doing it. But it's a very interesting conclusion by Russell, because remember, he's not playing Land Grant, so he can afford to play the island, and he can afford to play Sylvan Ranger. And actually, in itself, Sylvan Ranger is quite a good card. As we're now up to 4 creatures in play already for Russell. Looks like he has a few more in hand to be getting on with, as we see a Muscle Sliver and a Predatory Sliver on the side of Alex. I'm going to pass the turn back.
These slivers are quite big, but
it is a 3/3.
And the Predatory Sliver is a 3/3, and I believe the Muscle Sliver is a 3/3 as well.
Yes.
So there's still quite a considerable amount of power on the table, and it's only going to get bigger from this Sinew Sliver that's about to come down, I imagine.
Looks like we've got a Sinew Sliver, possibly a plated. Looks like we have a Sidewinder as well.
Oh, the Sidewinder's in there
as
well.
Nice. Okay. Which means that your 1/1 else can't actually block it. Give -1/-1. So we see the Sinew Sliver into place. That is now a 4/4. And we're going to see the Sidewinder Sliver hit the battlefield as well. Now, Elvish Vanguard was looking quite strong at that point, not so much anymore.
Yes, that's right. Although I can imagine this next turn from Russell isn't going to be too much of a problem.
No, he's still at 17 life, so he has plenty of time. And the Sliver deck does take a little bit of time to kill.
Yes, it does. And I'm guessing there's no form of protection to get through the Elves, like a green protection thing?
Not normally not normally, because it is a very much all in on its game plan. It's trying to find all the slivers, and also they don't really need it because he's just going to block, and that hits the bin. It does get to block though, because it was declared as a blocker. None of them have trample, so you do actually get to block.
There is a trample sliver, but I don't think there's anyone that's common. Yeah.
No, don't believe it's printed in commons. And there are so many slivers in all 5 colours, and I can't name most of them.
The hardest one that I found when it was shown on stream, I think for SCG, was the Telekinesis Sliver.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that one? The 4-mana.
Oh no, the
Pirate.
What was it? Is it
Telekinesis Sliver? Yeah.
Yeah, 0 mana, do something really funky that no one understands.
Whenever you play with a Sliver card, or whenever you cast, or whenever a Sliver enters the battlefield, you get to tap down a permanent.
Right.
Telekinesis Sliver was pretty good, really good in that deck, because you just tap it down and go nuts. But yes, we stream Pauper every single Monday.
Every Monday, and it's
more
wonderful.
Than welcome to join us, and you can come and chat in the stream, and we'll be able to give you some comments back. And if you have anything interesting you want to tell us, or even if it's not that interesting, go for it. And we're more than willing to answer your questions right now.
We're going to see Timberwatch Elf enter the battlefield this turn. We're going to see 3 mana being tapped. Are we going to see a Lead the Stampede here? No, only 2 mana being tapped. Looks like a Priest of Titania to follow up. This is going to a lot of mana for that Lisa Lana Huntmaster next turn.
Take your own Gaia's Cradle.
Yep, it's pretty good, and we're going to see another trigger on here, which means that it is now a 5/5 Elvish Vanguard.
So
obviously, whenever another elf, as you see on the little screen up above you, above our wonderful, wonderful heads, we have whenever another elf enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Elvish Vanguard.
Yeah.
2 mana 1/1s look pretty bad. 2 mana 5/5s, much better. Definitely
Angry
much better.
Mob, effectively, except whenever you play. play a
It's
creature.
on the face of it, champion the parish for an extra
That's it,
mana
yeah.
in green and
Yeah.
an elf. So it's pretty good.
Now let's see. They reprinted Nimble Mongoose recently, didn't they?
Did they?
It was in one of the master
Iconic
sets.
Masters?
It must have been
What was
because
it?
it's not modern legal. So
Oh, shame.
yeah, sadly.
Good
yeah.
job that's not modern legal. That card is actually here's the thing. Nimble Mongoose would be pretty bad in modern.
Yeah, it's
It's
one
a
mana,
1
until
3/3 when you threshold it. When you threshold it, which gets
With
outsized
Shroud.
by many
Everything?
cards.
Yeah.
Many cards is the
Yeah,
answer
everything
to
in
that.
modern, yeah.
And that's the thing, obviously, to bear in mind is that the power level of cards across different formats is always going to be uncomparable.
That's
like
right,
some cards are great across all formats. Think of Fake and Push, for example. They are all great, but like actually a lot of cards aren't comparable. But especially in this,
That's
Priest
right,
of
yeah.
Titania, Guy's Cradle on foot is pretty good. We're going to see an attack here
Swing
for
in.
what looks like 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30. Oh, hang on, sorry. So we've got 4, 8. Looks like 12 damage coming in here from
It's going to have
Alex.
to start to block.
You could just block with the.
Some with one of the Elvish Mystics, maybe. But
You
not up to us.
could trade off your Elvish Vanguard if you think you've got a payoff following up. But at the moment, you could go to 1.
well, you're not trading off if you go for a Predatory Sliver, though, are you?
No, but you're trading off if you go for the flanking sliver because you're a 5/5 versus a 4/4.
Right.
And actually, maybe getting rid of the flanking sliver is not a bad idea. But I think we can just see
that's
a
certainly
chump
true.
block here.
Yeah.
The Priest of Titania is about to make 4 mana next turn, which
Yeah,
is
you've got your
pretty
mana
good.
elves that aren't doing anything really.
Yeah, well, I think we're past the use of the Elvish Mystic. We're going to see a chump block here, and Russell's going to lose 8 points of
8,
damage,
yes,
down to
wow.
5. But again, no real way of pushing it through past all the elves,
No.
especially if we follow up with
That's
the
right.
Lisa Lana Huntmaster next turn. We're going to have to get a pretty
I think
good
there was
hit
an
here,
Essence Warden as well in this hand.
possibly, or it looked like maybe a Lead the Stampede. But
Ah, yes.
short
Well, Lead the
suit.
Stampede would be great as well at this particular moment. Lead the Stampede.
Oh, I love that card.
Saw some
Just
play in
good
Standard.
value.
It's very good value.
Very good value.
Leading off with the blue.
Looks like we're going to see a Lead the
Green,
Stampede here. Yep, so we're going to Lead the Stampede. So
Seems good.
it's a 2 and a green. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of creature cards from among them and put the reveal cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Looks like we're going to see at least
5.
3
Four
elves
yeah,
here.
4 cards.
2 elves. So we've got, looks like
so there's
Priest of
another Lead the
Titania and a Elvish Visionary, which is a pretty good blocker.
Yes, yeah.
Especially
Which
if
is
you
what
can
this
run both
elf
of them.
deck can really do, can't they? They can serve up loads of blockers. So unless there's some trample effect or protection effect, then it's going to be very difficult for this
Sliver
deck
deck
to get through.
And that's the thing is, can the Sliver deck push through the remaining points of damage? Here we're going to see an Elvish Visionary at the play for the turn. This Elvish Vanguard are going to go to a 6/6 now, so can block very profitably against this Sliver deck with the Aquarian Ranger, the draw for the turn. Priest of Titania are about to make 5 mana here for Russell. We could make a Huntmaster and then the Aquarian Ranger afterwards, and that seems pretty good to me.
Huntmaster seems amazing right now, especially when you've got the Quirion Ranger to just...
Yep, that's a 7/7.
Yeah.
Aquarian Ranger makes it up to an 8/8. That blocks pretty well now.
Quirion Ranger. Was that printed into Modern?
Now, we could also now untap the Priests.
Yes.
That'd be a really powerful turn.
Yes. So he's made an elf. Oh my god, yes, this is
Oh,
really good.
the combo.
And another land drop as well.
Combo. I think we
Actually,
might
he
just.
has played a land drop.
I think you could just dump your hand, but you can return a forest and just untap the priest.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you could just make everything this turn and just say, well, what do you got, Alex?
Here we go.
I'm done. I'm done with my turn. Just made everything in my hand.
Overrun.
And also at the same time, you can then use it in the next turn to untap the Elvish Mystic. You aren't using your mana at the moment. You might as well make the most of it and just get everything in play. Ask your opponent, see what they're doing. Yes, we're going to see the Quirion Ranger return the forest, untap the Priest of Titania. We're now going to be making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Oh, sorry, 8 mana. It's even better because it counts itself. And we're going to see a Timberwatch Elf, another one
That's
into
really
play.
good.
Oh, wow.
That's
That
really,
is some
really good.
damage.
So any unblocked elf next turn is probably going to be lethal, right?
Yes. Yep.
So
That's quite scary.
Is it beginning plus 16 plus... no, there's 9 elves on the table.
Bearing in mind that it's quite a good draw from Alex.
Yeah, yeah.
And Lead the Stampede found 2 creatures.
Yes, yeah.
Admit they were quite good creatures.
That's what happens, I guess, with Lead the Stampede. It's
Oh my
just
goodness.
see so far into your card pool.
Wow, this is some number of dice. Will Russell have enough dice as we're going to see 2 more elves enter the battlefield? That is now up to a 12-12. Wow. We now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. He could actually attack 4. He could attack now with his Elvish Vanguard because it is a lethal attacker.
They have to block. Yeah, has to block for, and he's got 1 Timberwolf. Timberwolf.
He's got 1 Timberwatch elf untapped,
yeah,
and able and non-summoning sick.
Yeah,
the other one is still summoning sick.
Fantastic.
Oh. It looks like you said no blocks.
It is no blocks.
It looks like we have something. Oh, we might have a swords maybe. Is that no? We got 3 mana being tapped. What are we? What do we have?
Some kind of sack effect maybe.
Oh, it's prevent all damage with flashback.
Right,
tap 2 white spells. So, no, that's fine. We're going to pass the turn back. He can do it next turn, but he's got to tap his creatures, and he can't attack with both of his slivers. But he can start playing other things. And
yes,
well, there's plenty of elves at the moment for.
Has he got another one of those cards in hand as well?
That is a poisonous sliver off the top.
Looks like he's got another copy of that card.
He also has this really powerful play of untap Elvish Vanguard. It's pretty good. We'll start getting -/- counters. Sure. It only has poisonous 1.
Poisonous 1 is still reasonable.
It's not poison as we understand it. Remember, it's poisonous
-1.
1. It only has 1.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, it has 1. 1 poison. It's a 4/4 with 1 poison, not a 4/4 that deals 4 points of poison. As far as I'm aware with how that card works. But let's pull that one up. And
Virulent Sliver.
There
right?
we go. Virulent Sliver.
Sliver.
We are testing our sliver knowledge here in round number 1 of Monday Night Pauper. Yeah, there we go. Poisonous 1. Whenever a sliver deals combat damage to a player, that player gets a poison counter. So actually, it doesn't affect combat damage. It doesn't give -/- counters, which I hadn't realised. It's very different to poison is poisonous 1. That's very interesting. I hadn't realised that.
I think poisonous it was that sort of old infect style, isn't it? And before they changed the name.
Very interesting. So, what
cool art actually?
It is actually quite funky, especially on the future sight border.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which is the one Alex has, and those future sight borders were lovely.
Oh, they were.
They were very nice. It's a shame they never used them. Shame they never used them. Oh well.
They've got an option to go back to that sort of style as well if they ever want to.
However, it stacks if you have to. That is true. That is true. It does stack if you have to. So, what are we going to see at the play? I
imagine he's got a 7 right now with everything.
Yeah.
He can't leave it back, he's just dead.
Yeah. And we're going to see a huge attack here. Quirion Ranger, untap, make blocker.
Sure.
Eat sliver.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to see the Forest Beam return to hand. We're going to see the untap here. Untap with our 12/12. Put some things under the bus and eat a sliver. It's strange. Elf eating sliver.
Yeah. Must taste quite nice.
Bit of a flavour fail, I do believe that is called a small flavour fail. I think we can also probably throw the second Priest of Titania under the bus. It's not really doing anything right now.
It's just going to be absolute abundance of mana here regardless anyway.
Yes.
So the Elvish Visionary is going to get blocked on one of these things here,
I think you eat the Sidewinder sliver.
Yeah, I think that would be the better option.
Because next turn you actually have an ability to multiple block and eat more slivers or just kill them. But then again, we've got as long as he has another white sliver to play, he can flash it back. But he needs obviously that to flash it back. Definitely an interesting card to bring in from the sideboard. I do like it. It's a nice
preventing
little
damage
piece.
against Elves seems great. In the other formats as well, some sort of fog effects have always been good against the Elves.
Yes, definitely. Your opponent goes all in on one turn, they do no damage, and then you kill them in response is pretty good. Or you get a turn to then wipe the board or something like that. It was the old, oh look, you did no damage to me and I Supreme Verdicted you.
Yeah.
That sort of idea against them. We're going to see the Virulent Sliver to follow up. And we're going to see probably a white sliver here, because otherwise we are dead, Jim. We're going to see another Sinew Sliver into play. Sliver's getting quite large, but again, many elves to be able to block. So, Russell, you get a chance to untap and draw for the turn. Lead the Stampede will be a pretty damn good one to find.
Or a Melody.
Right now. Melody will be pretty good as well.
Yep.
There's many, many cards to be drawn this turn. So we're going to untap. What do we find? There's a very large Vanguard at the moment. Draw for the turn. That is a
Elvish.
Is that a pump spell, maybe?
Didn't get a good look at it.
Don't recognise the artwork.
No,
it's the honest
that's
answer.
it, yeah.
Standard elf decks it's interesting because I don't think Russell's is the most standard of elf deck. But let's go for a little bit of a
he's
search.
putting some spice in there, isn't he? Which is quite good to see. It's good for the camera. Keeps us on our toes. Especially when I'm not well versed in Pauper, but
this is cool to watch. Though we're going to see a
it's
massive.
certainly
We're going to
true,
see
yeah.
a serve in again here. I think if you're Alex, you make him do it. You say no blocks. Oh, he's got another one in hand. Oh my goodness. This is going to be many turns of fog effects. Okay, sure.
Is there any trample effects? No.
One. Oh no, we only
gonna
need to
tap it,
tap
yeah.
one white creature. Sorry. So we're going to tap it. We're going to flash that back. He actually has another one in hand. That is terrifying. Dear mother of pearl.
This is interesting, really.
You might have two more
possibly
in
would
hand.
have
Oh my
served
goodness.
in with a different creature as well, just to get Timbermore activation.
Yep, we're going to see a Timber Watch. Remember.
Sorry, Timbermore.
I don't know what Timbermore you're on about. Thundermore.
Thundermore.
Timber
Thundermore
Watch.
Hellkite would be fantastic on
Thundermore
this board,
Hellkite
yeah.
is also a rare. It's also a mythic rare, so that is
That's
not
right.
being played in this format as we see
What a shame.
players untap and ready to go for the next step. So those slivers are now pretty big. They're all 5/5s, so they do all demand answers. But those Timberwatch elves are now online. All of these little elf tokens are going to be doing a lot of good work now. So
Yep.
how do we go about it from here? So we're going to see an attack with most of the team. Some of these are going to get eaten. Actually, most of them get eaten. It's a pretty horrible attack at the moment. Yeah, we're going to return that. We're going to untap our Elvish Vanguard. Now does Russell see how he can eat all of his opponent and maybe force his opponent to use the prevention of damage spell, and in which case then it's pretty good attack back as well for Russell. It's going to be a bit of maths here. I think there's two elves that are definitely jumping in the way and eating some slivers.
Certainly getting in there. Yeah,
One of
the
them
elf
probably going to
tokens
get
are,
eaten. One of them's probably going to get eaten by an elf.
Oh, he's got the Timber.
He's got two of them, but one of them is going to get eaten.
Yeah.
I think you just go, right, I'm going to eat three of
But he
your
can
guys.
pump two of the elf tokens and trade off for some of the slivers as well, because he's got enough elves.
He's going to eat three. He's going to eat three of them.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think was the fly? What was the flying one? Was rare, wasn't it? The one that gave you slivers flying.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job that doesn't
Was
exist.
it rare? I think it was.
You go searching on your phone this time for it.
I'm just trying to think of what it was called.
So we're going to see a block on one of them. You can pretty much put any elf in the way of them because you have the pump effects. So we're going to see one in front of each, and we're going to see two pumped up. However, you do have to pump them before the flank. No, the flanking sliver's gone, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, flanking sliver died last turn, so that was of benefit to everyone. Let's see. So, was it winged sliver?
Just type
think
in
it was
blue
winged sliver.
MTG blue sliver. That might help. It's probably a good start. Winged sliver. Trying to type on phones is funny. It's really whatever. I can't pronounce what you just typed
Gale
in.
Rider Sliver.
Gale Rider Sliver. What was it? It was a
there
common.
You go. It is a common, yeah.
It was a common, so apparently you
well,
can...
Gale Rider was the one blue one, yeah. So all slivers are flying.
So interesting.
Winged sliver
So
was
very
the,
interestingly enough, Russell chose not to kill multiple slivers. However, it might just only be attacking. Let's have another look at Timberwatch. Maybe it's only attacking elves.
It's very true. That could be correct. Yeah.
What's that? Why does Gale Rider on that one have two mana cost?
Because no, that wasn't Gale Rider.
No,
that was, this was Winged Sliver.
Oh, tap. Target creature gets +X/+. So we could have just eaten multiple people. Very interesting. We were going to see a distant melody here, drawing a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards for Russell. A way to reload and maybe try and get this game over and done with. That is a lot of elves to be seen. And some lands as well, which is always good to see with the Query Ranger at the backup. We see a Nettle Sentinel here as well. This is going to be a lot of elves being made.
Mm-hmm.
So Priest of Titania managing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. That is down to 6 mana. Is an elf and a trigger. This elf might soon be lethal on its own.
Yeah.
You get a token. Yeah, he's going to soon be struggling for space, I do believe, is going to be the honest answer.
Almost back up to 10 elves.
Getting 2+1/+1 counters each time is pretty good. That looks like a lot of pump spells in hand. That's double aspect of Hydra. It looks like something else that I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Do you remember the trigger for
and a Lead the Stampede as well. What, Huntmaster of the Fells?
Not Huntmaster, the
Lana Huntmaster.
Yes.
Whenever you cast an elf spell, make a 1/1.
I think he missed the trigger.
No, he got it.
Oh, got it?
Yeah, he
okay,
got
right.
it.
I just missed that one. Right.
We're going to see a massive attack here from the Elvish
Has to block.
Vanguard. And he's also sending in with the Lana Huntmaster as well. I
That's
like this
it.
attack.
Yep.
This is good. I like it very much.
Well, you've got +9/+9 from each of the Timberwatch elves, so
He also only needs to
you have
pump.
to block.
He also only has to pump the. He's got another of the prevention spells, but he can force a Timberwatch elf to be
That's
tapped
right.
here, which I think where maybe Russell should have eaten the Slivers last turn,
certainly.
made the most of his mana. Yep, tap Timberwatch elf, make massive man. And we're going to see
+9/+9.
Oh, no,
So
we're
it's
going to
tapping
see
two?
both
I
of them
wonder
being
what
tapped.
he's
He's
doing.
going to try and force lethal damage, and we're going to see
Right.
3 mana being tapped and another fog effect here
Yeah.
for Alex. Just, sad times for the elf player. Must be
No.
wondering what he has to do to win this game.
I think start possibly providing more attackers.
Like, the thing is, Quirion Ranger can just untap the Priest of Titania and just load up on a load more elves.
Yeah.
Especially with the
You've got loads of chump blockers.
Oh, he's
right
got
now.
another Distant Melody now.
He's already drawn,
Which
what,
he
9
can't
cards? or something?
cast straight away. He's got Lead the Stampede as well.
Yes, yeah. So he's going to discard now.
Interesting.
I guess he doesn't need to do it straight away.
No, so we're going to see a pass of the turn back. Quirion Ranger.
Oh, I see he's going to untap now. So why did he discard Melody?
I don't know.
Seems
Pass the
strange.
turn. Maybe he wants to try and do both in his turn, but
Yeah.
maybe Russell just missing that he could have killed a few more Slivers last turn. But anyway, it's back
possible.
over
Yeah.
to Alex and his Sliver deck. The fog effect in the graveyard, but that Elvish Vanguard definitely soon to become a problem threat
That's right.
without any Timberwatch elves to back it up. It's pretty good if you are on the side of the elf player. At 5 life and you've stabilized, feels pretty good.
Feels really good.
Feels
yeah.
pretty good. And we have plenty of blockers on the side of the elf player to throw under the bus should a need arise. Bearing in mind that all of these Slivers are only 4/4s.
That's right, yeah. So if he gets any form of trample or evasion on these slivers, it's going to be lights out for Russell, I'm afraid.
I do not believe at the moment he has any in green and white, but we'll soon find out. We see the Virulent Sliver, number 2 into play.
The stacking poisonous.
Scale Rider.
I believe he does, right? If you're talking about
There's no space.
there's no space, probably a hyphen.
We shall go on quickly double check. Thank you for picking that in the chat. There you go. It's a rare.
Is a rare, yeah.
Why you can't play
Yeah.
it.
Winged sliver, isn't they? Let's see. I think Russell did discard it. That was what the distant melody was, I believe. We'll just double check that and make sure that everything's going fine. 7. Yeah, that's why he discarded the distant melody. Yeah. Thought so. So his draw for the turn was Elvish Mystic.
Which is why he had 8 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Which was apparently done in the upkeep. So it's why we had 8 cards in hand during that turn. Before it's been played, we have plenty of elves in hand. And Slivers all back on blocking duty now. No surprises there.
Yes,
Maybe he's hoping for
yeah.
like a massive triple block, but that doesn't work when you have a massive,
I think you just got to start
massive
serving
man.
him with a team now.
We're serving him with an Elvish. Oh no, we're going to play the Elvish Mystic.
Elvish Mystic, yep.
Gotta love these decks that don't fit on camera anymore. Thank goodness it's not Abzan tokens.
And there's
That's
no
even worse.
Ascend, right?
Ascend's fine. Abzan tokens was worse for the amount of permanents you made.
Oh.
Had a couple of anointed processions and you went off, but we're going to see
yeah.
the Elvish Vanguard grow by 2 more again. That is now up to a 12, 13, 14. It is a 15, 15. Dear
Seems
Lord.
good.
It's pretty good. We're going to see a making of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Lead
10,
the
11
Stampede.
mana. Lead the Stampede to start with. We're going to 1,
I think Russell's got to be careful.
2,
He's going to end up decking himself soon.
3, 4, 5. Oh, it looks
See
like
the
at least
head, so
4
one
elves.
forest, yeah.
That's another Elvish Vanguard. Looks like another Lana Huntmaster.
Lovely.
Yeah.
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 I think that's the comment.
Feels bad for Alex.
It does, but he's still got this holy.
He's still in, but
fog
again,
effect.
it depends if he has a lot of fog effects.
But
again,
Russell's got a lot of
it's
blockers.
does he actually have a way of winning the game? Is the question. We don't know.
Through this amount of potential blockers,
It would need flying.
I doubt it. Yeah, it would be flying, but it doesn't
Or
know if he's playing any
shroud.
blue.
Or shroud.
Not shroud.
No, shadow.
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 Yeah.
The shadow sliver. Don't know if that was common, but we have at least found a common flying sliver. But it doesn't look like he has it here today. We're going to see yet more elves. We're going to see the Lisalana Huntmaster enter the battlefield. We're going to see another elf being made 2 +1/+1 counters on to the Elvish Vanguard. Maybe should have played the other Vanguard first. We're now going to see
Possible, yeah, because then you can get the extra effects.
Yes. Winged Sliver. Ooh, that is a really weird artwork.
It is. The older one's better, I think. It's slightly different.
Everything around here has cut a deal with gravity. Dryad of the Weatherlight. Very interesting flavor text there. Russell's going to start making some obnoxious number of things now.
That's right.
These Elvish Vanguards are going to be both lethal on their own very quickly. Maybe if he runs out of, maybe he's going to. Maybe I know. I found the win. I found the win condition for Alex.
Yeah.
He runs out of dice.
Possibly. Yeah.
You can see another Quirion Ranger here. At least he doesn't have an elf which draws him a card whenever another card enters the battlefield.
Right.
Otherwise, he would have definitely milled himself out by now. We're going to see both Elvish
Vanguard is going to get so big.
He might actually have no. He has remembered that both Elvish Vanguards should be adding dice on. That's 3, 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 20. That's a yeah.
Lots of elves.
Yeah, that is 6, 12, 22. So 23, 23, and that one's a 4/4. It's a little bit smaller. Only a 4/4. Still the same size as some of the slivers.
That's it, yeah.
So let's serve in with our
these
man.
slivers by themselves are pretty large. So if
They
it
are.
wasn't going up against another creature deck, it would have been over far sooner than this. But because of the board stalls on either side now,
This is an insane board
yeah.
stall. Also, those aspects of Hydras are adding 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14
Now,
power.
does Russell have any trample effects?
Plus 14, plus 14 from aspect of Hydra. I don't believe so, but at the same time, that does the 1 mana lethal damage creature.
It eventually is going to eat through these blockers if he's going to block, which he has to at least serve up at least 1 or 2 blockers each time now. I think Russell can start attacking with
Both Elvish
3
Vanguards.
creatures. Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
knows
Both
his
the
opponent's
Vanguards.
got the fog effect, but at the same time, it's like you're making them use the fog effect.
Yes, you
So
have
might
to
as
get it
well
out
do
of their graveyard at least. And you have to start killing some of these creatures.
He's
some
Russell
point.
pointing at this card going, God, why did you have to have the second one? So lucky. Russell having to think about what his plays are for the turn
Something
and
to
what he
attack.
can attack. You attack, it's free, your guys are bigger than anything your opponent has, you have Nettle Sentinels, you have Elvish Vanguards, you have a spare Lisalana Huntmaster that you probably can attack with. There we go. Send in with some of the elves. I'm going to see an attack with 3 different creatures. Obviously, like you said, time to start beating
Why
in.
not? Yeah.
Because you could
got
send
one
in
of
with
these
what
things,
you could
so-
send in with one of the elf tokens.
Yeah.
The one that's not on summoning sick.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a block here, and another block, just in case.
Just going to force some pump effects
So
from these
obviously,
elves.
bearing in mind the reason that Alex is blocking all 3 of them is because.
Because otherwise he'd be dead.
No, but he's got,
Well, he's got the
protection.
the protection,
But
yeah,
why?
sure.
Why would you block all 3? What happens if Russell goes, haha, negate?
Yeah.
Now you're
Yeah,
dead.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's got some kind of blue spell effect, that's
Yes.
certainly true.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Cast that. No damage goes on there. GG.
Cool. Untap everything again and have another go.
Yep.
Pass the turn back. We're going to see an untap here. You must be sat in Axis going, what on earth did I do to deserve this? Whose life did I ruin at some point to have this happen to me? See an untap and a draw of the turn. Does he have any more of these effects, or are we going to start
Off the
seeing
top. One more.
elves starting to eat more slivers?
Nom nom. I think from this board state right now,
That is a pass of the turn.
Ooh.
That does not look promising here for
So,
Alex.
That might be telegraphed to say that, well, actually, I
I'm
have
dead.
nothing. Yeah, so
Just had 5
let's see if
minutes.
Russell gets that read.
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left on the round, so hopefully Russell can complete this game.
That's right.
Otherwise, we won't be finishing this match. Well, he will. He'll finish 1-0. So obviously the pressure is on Alex to win, but unfortunately I can't see a way back from
really looks
here.
Like
so we're going to see an untap with our 23-23 Elvish Vanguard. I've never seen that guard that big before. Kept getting killed in the last time we commentated. It just got blown up every time.
And
so
you can see why, because eventually it will just get so huge, nothing else can stop it.
You can see why Electricary is a good card. And I think now we can start.
Still on this board state to be good.
Yes, exactly. Now we have so many elves, I think we can start attacking with some of the elves tokens. We're going to see a Birchlaw Ranger enter the battlefield here. Another 3 triggers for the Elvish Vanguards. They're getting 3 more power on each one, so that's now go up to a 7/7. The other one going up to a 25/20. Oh no, sorry.
It's plus 3 each time now,
6,
isn't
12,
it?
18, 6, 12, 18, 24, 25. Is it 26, 26?
Yep.
If my maths is correct. So we're going to see a big attack here by Russell, attacking with both Elvish Vanguards. Do we send in the Nettle Sentinel as well? Nope, we're going to send in the Lissalan Huntmasters.
Everything here except for your tokens.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. Like you've got plenty of mana available to you.
You've got 6.
I think you can definitely.
You could probably save 1 extra thing, right?
Attack with the Mystics as
well. You can save the Timbermoors to be back as well because you want their effect. So
we'll see all 6 creatures, all 6 tokens in.
Yeah, sure.
Chump block. Well, I really hope he doesn't have another one of these.
So the tokens are going to get plus. Ooh, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus 18, plus 18.
Yeah. Each one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Whatever isn't blocked is just going to kill him. Yeah. That's fair enough.
Whatever you didn't block, kill you.
Yeah. Unless he's got another one of these fog effects again.
Oh, that'd be horrible if he does.
But then I don't think he would offer up any blocks here. Well, maybe he does anyway. Because he would just be dead to a negate.
So, something you don't block, I would like to give plus 18, plus 18, and I'd like to give another one plus 18, plus 18. And then go many pump effects.
Yes.
We have many pump effects in hands. I am actually at the end of this match going to go see what that card is in Russell's hand, because I have no idea what it is.
I'm not sure
it's like
exactly
a man stood like this, and he's like in awe, and I have no idea what the card does. That was a terrible, probably, opinion of what that card actually is, but
so let's see.
It felt like the right thing
What's
at that
he pumping?
Well, we only need to pump one of them.
Oh, and he's got Aspect of the Hydra as well.
We're going to pump one of these. Just that's it. Don't do any more. No need to do anything else. Your opponent's dead. Unless they've got another one.
I think there's another one in hand. Yeah, another one.
That's fine. Now stop.
So
Just stop. Russell, you can stop now. Your opponent is dead. If they don't have anything... Oh no, please no, not another one.
Has he got one really?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's got one.
Oh, flip the table.
There we go. Yeah. Should we get that card? Can you go work out what that card is?
I'm going to go find out what that card is.
I want to put that up on stream because that's hilarious.
I'm going to steal this card so we can't use it.
Oh, unless anybody knows that's in the chat, you can maybe beat John to get in the... Oh, that was rather funny. Such a shame for Russell. You can see the anger in his hands there right now. So it's the fog effect that we got here. Let's see, what is it? It is
the most hated card. It's called Prismatic Strands. Russell's most hated card in Magic.
Strands.
Oh, good lord! What is this? Prevent all damage that sources of colour of your choice would deal this turn. Flashback. Tap an untapped white. Dear lord. What?
There it is, back up on there.
I'm going to go give him his card back.
Go back. He probably wants it. Prismatic Strands, there we go. So it says it's an instant speed, 3 mana, and prevent all damage that sources of the colour of your choice would deal this turn. And flashback to tap an untapped white creature you control. So he's got it again for next turn. So Russell's really got to think about what he's got to do against this card, because so far Alex has drawn 3 of these against their Elves deck, but still there's no way for this for Alex to get through with all of this damage. Russell may be at 5, but unfortunately it's still got so many blockers to offer up against these Slivers here right now, so he's got to find some way of getting some evasion on these Slivers before he can win this game. He can stall it, he's still not lost.
No, Alex knows he's dead. He's just having some fun for the camera now. He's going to journey to nowhere, the monster. Oh, dearie me. What on earth is this game? That is time on the round has just been called, so turn 0 currently in action here. Well, I mean, these... Well,
he could maybe stall it out for just a little bit longer.
I don't know, we could kill him this turn.
It's very possible we could kill him this turn as well. He's going to have to block with some of these Quirion Rangers, which is going to be a shame.
Fine.
And, I mean, Russell is only at 5, so if he's got another pump effect...
So it's interesting that Russell does have a green spell in hand as well, so he can untap his Nettle Sentinel.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I think maybe Russell got a bit angsty, like you say.
Yeah, like...
He also does have 2 Elvish Mystics, which are quite good blockers as well.
But you've still got to block every single one of these, I believe, because otherwise you're taking...
The Priest of Titania does make a bucket load of mana, so you do have your ability to do what you want.
Sure, definitely.
And you have a Forest, which untaps the one, untaps something.
You've got the Quirion Rangers, you say...
You can only untap one, though, because you only have 1 Forest.
Sure, untap an Elf token.
You're not dead. But, yeah. Yeah, Holy Day would have been an interesting draw as well. -1/-1 to all non-white creatures. Elf decks don't like -1/-1.
But Holy Day was a fog effect.
What
would be quite fun in this.
Let's find out.
Yeah. I don't know if the Slivers deck plays it or if it's even a common, but do you know Marrow Shards?
Nope.
No? Don't know Marrow Shards?
No, but Holy Day, a white mana prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn. That is also true. We're going to see an attack here with 4 of the Slivers. You're going to see they are all currently 4/4s.
So Holy Light was the -1/-1 effect. So very similar. Marrow Shards is this one, though.
It's an uncommon.
It's an uncommon. Yeah, what a
no.
shame.
Can't play that one. Best get that one off the screen then.
It's a Holy Light. Let's see that one.
Holy Light. 1 blocker there, 1 blocker there.
Put a 7.
Put a Quirion Ranger in front of it. Put the Birchlaw Rangers in front probably as well.
Well, you can eat these as well with the activations of the Timber.
You get to eat 1 of them. Like, you should block all 4 of them.
He's tapped them. Holy Light.
His opponent has nothing in hand, but again, that double Quirion Ranger also isn't doing anything.
Yes. Yeah.
So just
not the moment.
Block there as well. Priest of Titania makes enough mana for the 2 pump spells.
You could just untap one of the Timber Watch Elves as well.
Yeah, there is a lot of options. Quirion Ranger going to return the Forest. No Forest now, we're playing Mono Islands.
Yeah.
We're playing Mono Islands here today, guys. We could just eat all the Slivers here. We're going to see a...
So this is
pumping at the Quirion Ranger.
1, right? So,
yes, this is turn 1.
Turn 1.
So Russell will pick up the W here.
That's
but
right,
he wants to get the most for the camera while he's on. While he's out, he wants to get his most time on the camera. See what he can do. Players going to be looking for their next... Probably looking to the next match and hoping he doesn't play against Elves again.
Probably,
if you're Alex, let's hope he doesn't have to play against this again. He had a good start though, and he almost got there. It was just a few too many blockers. The Lisalana Huntmaster doing its job very well, making enough chump blockers. We're going to see 2 of the Slivers die and 2 of the Elves die as well.
Yes, the Elvish Mystics hit the bin, but that's to be expected.
And a passing of the turn back here, I believe, to Russell. Gets to untap with a boatload of cards.
Número 2.
Duo. Dos, whatever you want to call it. Number 2 for our hallowed grounds that we are on today.
Let's see.
That's Dark Sphere here in London.
We are, yes. Still looking forward to...
Must be really sad for Russell knowing that your opponent still has another strands in hand going,
you got to go and just attack anyway.
Really?
Regardless.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I really have to go through this again? So we're going to see 2 mana being tapped here for what looks like an Elvish Visionary.
Elvish Visionary, draw the card.
Draws another Elvish Visionary.
Go for it again.
What's better than 1 Elvish Visionary? Another Elvish Visionary.
Create a Hoof Behemoth. That's better than that.
Yes, that is true. We're going to see 3 counters being put onto there and 3 more Elves, up to 9, up to 8. 8 Elves now. 6 can attack, 2 may not. Obviously, we have a lot of things here from Alex that actually don't matter because he has another Prismatic Strands
I think you still attack
effect.
because you want to try and just stop a bit of the damage.
Yeah.
Just go and serve in with that. Keep enough blockers back because you know he's got to use the
Prismatic Strands.
Prismatic Strands again. Yeah.
And also, you're now giving 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 9 plus 19 plus 19.
Yep.
So you only need to tap one Timberwatch Elf now.
So Alex has actually bought a lot of time with these prismatic strands.
Yes.
Still dying.
To no end.
But
it's bought a lot of time.
Yeah, right? So...
Oh, this is funny. Oh, what is this deck?
Flashback the prismatic strands.
Untap. I have 8
However,
blockers.
if he gets another one, Russell still can't win.
Good job it's 1 game to 0 then, isn't it?
That's right. Still can't win this match.
We're going to see
There
double
we go.
forest hand
There's the
extension hand.
concede.
Russell
Well
Mullock
done.
Bentley picks up the game 2 games to 0. Slivers being taken
Oh
down by
dear.
Elves. Whoever thought you'd be saying my
Prismatic
Elves ate
strands.
the Slivers? But anyways, John Partridge, Chris Wingrave, your coverage duo.
That is.
Or dos.
Yep, for this.
For this evening's Monday Night Pauper.
Yeah.
We're going to take a very brisk break. The players have all finished with round number 1,
They're
and we'll
all
be back very shortly with round number 2.
Number 2, that's right.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 2. It was a very swift break. Apparently my foot's tangled up in the cables. There we go.
Yeah, there we are.
John Partridge, Chris Wingrave. Round number 2, we have 2 enemies, and we're not on about players, we're on about colours. 2 monocolour decks. Yes. Very much enemies of each other, I believe.
Yep.
On the light side, we have the mono red deck, and on the dark side, we have the mono blue deck.
Is that how it's going to be?
Yes, it will be that way. I know that you'd very much disagree with that one, but I'm very much the opinion the dark side is the blue player and the blue deck, the mono blue Delver versus mono red burn creatures, aggressive hasty men.
Join the dark side.
We'll go with that.
Yep.
We're going to send it down to feature match area, round number 2. We'll get rid of the Holy Light because we are not seeing any of that nonsense in this game. We're going to be seeing more of
we both got 2
speed.
People playing with very easy to pronounce last names and first names.
Yes, Damdinseren versus Kai. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to go with mono red versus mono blue Delver. No, so we're going to see an opening hand here. Looks like we have, looks like a Bushwhacker in hand. We're going to give the players the go ahead.
Bushwhacker's fantastic, yeah.
I'm going to have to do this one by the looks of it.
Looks like they're going off to play anyway. You see? Go for it. Get from the signal out of the booth. Yep. They are just about to fire off. Looks like the table shifted slightly. We get the table to shift back.
Yep. Kick the table.
Somebody has kicked the table. That's it. There we go. More central now. Perfect. Yep. Thank you. There we go. So it looks like we've led off with a Fairy Miscreant for Kai, and the Damned Insuran has played what looks like a Goblin Bushwhacker, and the first one there, that's a card from Shadowmoor, which I don't recognise.
Go back to the mobile phone.
Yeah, go back to the mobile phone.
Because I have not a clue. That also didn't help, apparently. Apparently, so mono blue Delvers now to pop to the top. So in the time we've been streaming round 1, Elves dropped from the top deck and is now the second most popular deck to mono blue Delver.
They've probably done some update or something.
Burn. This'll do. Let's have a look at this burn deck.
I think it's a Goblins deck, actually.
But it looks like
mono red and Goblin and Burns.
Oh, Goblin Heel Cutter.
Goblin Heel Cutter is fantastic.
Oh, wow, we're going to daze it.
Yeah. I think
was that a gush into a daze? Wow. Was that gush into daze? Looked like it.
I'm not sure, actually.
Draw for the turn. We got looks like a Spell Stutter Sprite. We're going to tap 3 mana.
There's the
Spire
Golem.
Spire Golem with Affinity for islands. And I love that. Like, it is a beautifully described word.
And
Affinity
for
islands.
Yeah. Most people have an affinity for islands, especially in the shop.
Some don't so much. Some have an affinity for forests. Much more fun. It's much better playing forest. You play big men and crunch your opponent. Yeah. What is not to like about that? Right, we're trying to find the Goblins deck. It doesn't come up very early. Oh, good lord.
That is a... Is that the Stormbound guys?
There's more thing...
Oh, no, okay, it's a bounce. The...
Mana War.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that one. Oh, yes.
But it's the newer version of Mana. It's the promo version, I believe, isn't it? The or from the Dual deck.
We're going to get Kai to move. We will get Kai to move up. So we have oh, hello. So we have some Goblins. That's a Lightning Bolt. Yes, I know what Lightning Bolt looks like. Comes up with 4th edition Lightning Bolt as well. So we have. Let's see. What's Goblin Cohort?
Gush, right? I see. Yep, that makes sense.
That has got some things in the middle of it.
Yeah, I think it's the
Jackal Familiar. Looks like it's.
I think Mana War was about. Was it? Maybe
Mog Conscripts. That's what it is.
It's Mog Conscripts. Nice. Yeah.
So one of them was Mog Conscripts, and then we have probably Mud Brawler Cohort. Yeah, Mud Brawler Cohort. Haste. Mud Brawler Cohort gets +1/+1 as long as you control another red creature. So
which he does.
Mog Cohorts and Mud Brawler Cohorts pairing up.
Mud Brawler Cohort, is it?
Mog Conscripts can't attack unless you have successfully cast a creature this turn. 1 mana 2/2. Okay. It's a good card. So, no, Mog, M-O-M-O-M-O-G-G.
Oh, yes, of course, because it's in the Mog, the Mog Fanatics, Mog Flunkies. Yeah. I really like Mog Fanatic.
These double G. There we go. We're going to see Ninja of the Deep Hours into play here for Kai. We're going to see a Mana War bouncing the Mog Conscripts. A very nice play there, using the Ninjutsu to get the Mana War back to his hand. We see a Gush in hand.
It was Conscripts, wasn't it?
Yes. Conscripts, yes. 1 mana 2/2s. Cannot attack unless you successfully cast a creature spell this turn.
Yeah.
So remember, if you counter it, it doesn't cast a successfully cast. We're going to see a recasting here. Let's see 3 mana being tapped here.
It was in the dual deck.
Looks like...
It's got 3 things in its name. So, oh no, that's the alchemist, isn't it? I think, right? No, that's not the alchemist.
No, Flamekin. Is it not Flamekin something? This version of the deck doesn't have it.
I'm not certain. I'm afraid.
Let's go through.
This is my weakness with random cards.
It's one I don't recognise, which is surprising because I recognise the artwork. I just couldn't tell you what it was.
It looks like it's got something from Ice Age, possibly. Ice Age
No,
or
no, it's from Mirrodin Block. Not Mirrodin Block. What was the elf? What was the elf Merfolk one? Shadows and Shadowmoor, and what was Morningtide?
Oh,
I believe it's from Morningtide.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Morningtide had goblins and Kithkin, and so.
Yes, I believe it's a shapeshifter.
Ah, okay, right. That might be why I didn't know so much of it. Sadly, my knowledge of Pauper it's getting better.
Oh, I'm loving this. I really enjoy doing this. Like, there is so much fun to be had from randomly guessing what cards actually are.
Yeah.
And we can see Gush here drawing many cards and Snapback as well, is it? So, what does the mono red player have to do?
Let's see. It looks like a Mog Fanatic.
Yeah, Mog Fanatic.
Funky?
Well, I will be able to tell you in a moment. I'm going to go for searching for 3.
It's like a 2/2. There's a glare on the camera, sadly. It's
red,
a bit too much.
Shapeshifter.
Nice. Okay. So the Spire Golem has come back down again. We have Ninja of the Deep Powers, who I imagine is probably going to get blocked, right?
Yeah, it seems like pretty good for using your 2-power creatures against each other.
So Kai's looking at quite a nice hand right now of
oh, is it Voldaran Shapeshifter?
Voldaran?
Man, if I got this right, it'd be hilarious.
Vidalcan or Voldaran?
Give me a second. Oh, it's brought me up all the blue ones first because they were the first one. Hang on. Let's see. Where are we going? Shapeshifters. Loads of shapeshifters.
There's
Ooh,
loads of
Crypt Swap
shapeshifters
as well. I remember that card.
Inner Flame Acolyte, apparently, was the...
Yep, that'll do. Let's go for that one.
Let's have a look at that one, then.
That's why I love doing streaming, because people on the chat normally know more about the cards than you do.
Me at this, yeah.
That's the best bit, actually. Inner Flame... Yeah, we'll leave that one for the moment. Let's go back to the... oh, no.
Let's have a look at Inner Flame Acolyte, then.
There we go.
Oh, yes,
when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets... There you go, and you can evoke it for a red mana. Obviously, evoke is when you cast a spell for its evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. Obviously, you still get the ETB trigger. We're going to see a number of the spells removed. And we can see
Spire Drake, isn't it? Something Drake, I believe. That blue card.
And let's go to Mono Blue Delver.
Spire Drake. No, something Drake. Something Drake.
Chat is always right.
Yeah, come on, chat. How was that?
No, that's no. You must always make chat believe it is always right.
Right.
It's like the customer is meant to believe that it is always right. But no, chat always really helps. Actually, we're going to see Valley Dasher and another Bushwhacker here. We're going to see a big attack here. We're going to see an instant block. The Valley Dasher. The Valley Dasher is going to bite the dust. Must attack each turn if able. A 2-mana 2/2 with haste.
Yes.
Was quite good in that limited format,
actually. It
actually.
wasn't too bad.
It was pretty good.
I remember playing the Inner Flame Acolyte as well, and I believe
you can cast it post-combat.
Yeah.
That was the best thing.
Stitched Drake. That's it. So it was a Drake. I was correct there. Good old Stitched Drake.
I remember doing coverage last week of the Mono Blue Delver deck, and it had none of these cards. It did not have this.
Kai's always up for brewing, though, isn't he?
He does love brewing. He took your brew.
Fanatics.
He took your brew onto camera, which was quite good fun.
He did, yeah.
Stitched Drake, 1 blue as an additional cost to cast Stitched Drake. Exile a creature card from your graveyard with flying. We're going to see a Fire Blast, and looks like a counter spell to get rid of that.
Very nice counter spell as well.
Very nice.
Very nice.
We're going to see Spell Stutter Sprite off the top. The 3/4, the 3-mana 3/4 Drake that only has a small downside of you having to exile a card from your graveyard.
Yeah. So this is one of these new cards from the Innistrad, the second coming of Innistrad block. So it was one of those decks. I think Stitch Drake saw some play with the Stitchwing, advanced Stitchwing thing.
Stitchwing Scarab and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Grixis Reanimator style
definitely.
deck. Pretty good as
well.
That
was a really good draw as well. Ninja of the Deep Powers into looks like a preordained Spellstutter Sprite, a Stitched Drake obviously still in hand, and another island for Kai. Definitely firing all cylinders. That preordained going to hopefully draw him into more and more gas as it goes along.
We can only hope. Unless you're on the side of the red. Then you'd want him to not draw too much.
And we've still got a fair number of creatures in the graveyard that we can make the most of getting rid of. We're going to get rid of a...
Another Stitch Drake.
Mana War, and interestingly enough, no Delvers yet.
No, none yet.
Still failed to find the namesake card. We are 6 plays 8. This is a pretty good position for being if you're Kai. Let's see what we can find if you're.
He's got these solid blockers now for the.
He's got a
really
3/4.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is pretty good. We're going to see another draw of the turn here. The island's in hand. Looks like a daze drawn off the top. Probably not its best. We're going to see Preordain here.
Yeah,
Sprite 2,
right.
draw 1. We're going to see a Spire Golem and a Spellstutter Sprite. I think we can get rid of the Spellstutter Sprite, but I definitely want to.
I don't know. The Spellstutter Sprite could
counter a 1. Yeah, it could counter a 1 damage.
There's quite a lot of 1-drops in the mono red deck, so I would imagine you want to keep it, but he has got one in his hand already, I believe.
We're going to see an attack with the Ninja of the Deep Hours. We're going to see a double block here from
block, I think.
Looks like just one of them going under the bus.
One.
I mean, Kai's still at only 6 life. He's not at that much life, and especially as he doesn't have a counter spell, we're going to see the cast for free Spire Golem.
Spire Golems.
Affinity for islands perfectly enabled, and a lethal attack.
So
well, not lethal attack next turn, but
we've both got our opinion on these islands as well, haven't we? I think they're...
yes, the Mono Mountains. And he's going to scoop up his card, Damned Incident.
Game number 1.
Down
there.
1 game 2-0 against Kai and his Mono Blue Delver deck.
Mono Blue Delver just showing you there, like, counter spells and the aggressiveness of the cheaply costed cards, and flying as well is such a good thing in this format.
I'm not going to lie, I think a lot. He cast Mana War about 3 times early in the game. That is definitely one way of shutting down your opponent. We're going to see many copies of Hydroblast coming in against the Mono Red deck, and I can imagine we're going to see a number of the cards come in as well.
Trickery he's looking at there on Damden is looking...
Like Keldon Marauders as well, was one of those as well. Looks like we got some pump effects. Looks like bringing 5 cards in. The Logic Knot, very interesting. That's coming straight out. London Waterloo area.
Yes.
Very precise.
Well,
we are neither near London Waterloo. We are neither near London Bridge, but we have all the trains that run from London Waterloo to London Bridge and beyond, running right over the top of us. One of the funniest things I remember before we got these really good headsets, and these are really nice to use because I was here right at the beginning. We used to have these ones where you could hear the as the train went over, like it's just like, really, I'm trying to commentate on the most important part of a match, and I've got a train just crunching over the top, but it does work really well. It actually adds to a lot of the
atmospheric.
Much. It's amazing the atmosphere you get in this place because you are in basically a tunnel arch that's been converted into a store. You've got this massive long run out, and you can see the full arch. And actually, it does add to the atmosphere when the trains go over the top, so you do remember where you are, and it's really nice.
Yeah, it's cozy, but it's not cozy in the sense of too small.
No,
you've got a lot of play space here. Fantastic area for buying all of your other merch. I think that the Professor...
well, look, we go down. We've got Warhammer, Hordes of War, fantasy role-play games, War Machine, more board games, card games, obviously
an abundance
of things behind us.
Stuff,
product. It's great. I love this place. It's really good, and it's huge, and it's really good because we're playing Pauper. But you also look how you have Final Fantasy going on. You have the War Gamers at the back.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you've got another.
There were some Vanguard players as well.
Vanguard players
are playing tonight.
And they're not playing in a tournament. They're just here because they want to be, and they can have fun with their friends while they're playing the game. The Pauper players are obviously here doing their Monday Night Pauper, but it's open for anyone. So you can come down and what you want.
We jumped up to about 30 people. I think there was 2 more people came in. They were slightly late today, but that's the problem with work.
Better late than never.
That's right. And still getting in there extra.
And 30 people for a Monday Night Pauper is really good because that outnumbers most of the people we get for the Legacy and Modern, which is fantastic. Because when you see you could get even more people coming and playing. And to be fair, if you wanted to, you could get more. But it's a really good number because it shows that Pauper is popular.
That is,
and the more and more people see it, the more and more people will hopefully get to.
So as we were talking about before, like the accessibility of Pauper is so much higher than these other formats right now as we speak.
It's also desirability.
And it's not the fact that it's just easy to access. It's fun as well. You've got so much chance to play your game plan and disrupt the opponent's game plan, depending on your deck, obviously. But you can play your game, and you can play your game for several turns, and you're not just going to go, turn 1, I'm going to combo you out because I've got Charbelcher, for instance. Yeah. So,
even in that game just there, where Kai looked like he was massively far ahead, he was at 6 life.
Yeah.
Only 6. That's 2 burn spells from Damned Incident.
A Chain Lightning and
Chain Lightning and a Lightning Bolt. A Fire Blast and a Lightning Bolt. But he had 2 lands in hand, but sure. But at the same time, there was that massive chance that Kai still could lose that game. He hadn't locked the game up, and that's one of the fantastic things about Pauper is the game is pretty much over until the Fat Lady's singing and the game is done. And we're going to see our players moving on to game number 2. Sideboarding is done. Kai's pretty much
shuffling up,
pretty much bored in his mono red hate.
Yeah,
in his
Hydroblast,
everything.
And Hydroblast, right? This is a card that gets played in Legacy, gets played in Vintage.
Yeah.
There's so many cards that are in this format that are played in decks that cost so much more. But yes, as we were talking about, you get the Preordains, Ponder, Brainstorms. You've got other great green-red cards and
Mog Fanatic. You get Mog Fanatic. What else could you want?
Mog Fanatic, yeah.
We can see the players. It looks like Damned Insolent's going to give him his hand.
It's good to see, Casters, that you're from Seattle. We actually had a member of the public come in yesterday. We had a winner box tournament in Modern.
I did hear about
and
this.
he was from Seattle as well.
Oh, wow.
So he lived, I think he said he lived really just down the road from Wizards of the Coast as well. So he
oh,
gets
sweet.
to see,
Even better.
Yeah, he gets to see a lot of good stuff.
How did you do?
I played appallingly, actually, that day.
What did you play?
I played my blue-red
Okay.
Blood Moon deck.
How did you do?
It was okay. The deck played as it should have been played. I just played it really bad.
What record did you do?
I went 2 and 3, but it was I was at the very top of the. I was 2 and 2, and I was at the very top of the 2 and 2s. So we see Ponder from Kai, but I do think it still needs a bit of tweaking. The meta we have in London is so random, except for the absence of
Lantern control.
Humans. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 people that play, but humans. There's one person I think that plays humans regularly,
but
if any.
That is all. That is all for Wednesday.
That's for Wednesday.
We're gonna. If you do watch us on Wednesday, we're gonna discuss the Pro Tour. We're gonna discuss.
Now, do you know the name of that red card? It's Rakdos Shred Freak.
You didn't even give me a chance. You just said, "Do you know the name of the card?" Oh, it's Rakdos Shred Freak. Oh, cool.
I love
Thanks
this
for
card
that.
because it came in during the Return to Ravnica stretch, where there was this amazing black-red aggro deck with the Rakdos Cacklers, the Shred Freak, Spike Jester, I think was
Zava
there.
and Rakdos
There was so much good stuff, and it had. You had so much good stuff during that standards rotation.
Something may be getting hit with a Hydroblast.
There it is. Yeah.
We're going to hit.
I think so.
Yep. That one is gone out of here.
So Kai's actually got a Dispel in hand as well. It's interesting that he's brought that in against this deck, which is predominantly sort of creature-based.
Yeah.
But it does hit the big high-impact cards.
The Inner
Flame.
Flame.
The burn spells.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Inner Flame Acolyte hitting the graveyard from that spell. We're going to see a very miscreant. It does block the Rakdos Spike Jester very well. It is a 2/1, remember.
Yes,
so we're going to see a Mountain Wing, and we have what is probably the best card in this position, the Goblin Heel Cutter. Is it going to be dashed? It should be dashed. We're going to dash in the Goblin Heel Cutter.
It seems like it should be, yeah.
Spellstutter Sprites can't block that one, unfortunately.
So this was played in Standard as well, the Heel Cutter.
Yes, that was very popular.
Good.
It was very popular in the fast, aggressive red decks because for 3 mana you could dash, it get haste, and whenever it attacked, target creature cannot block.
We're going to see Siege Rhinos.
We're going to see the Spellstutter Sprite enter the battlefield and eat the Rakdos Shred Freak. Well, trade with the Rakdos Shred Freak. As it went down its gullet, it was all slashing and amped itself back up again, and we're going to see
the Mastiff, right? I believe that's a Mastiff.
Yep. I'm just going to quickly double check the name. It's Jackal.
Let's see. We'll race you, chat. See if you can get it first.
Or Bob up. Oh no, that's not fair. I can't go that quickly. That's not fair.
I think, and this is going to be a guess. It looks like it's about 6 letters. So.
Jackal Familiar.
Oh, it's Jackal Familiar.
Beat the chat.
Okay.
Managed to beat the chat for once.
Jackal Familiar.
Which actually I'm going to tell you what the card does because it's something all 60 cents worth. Doing well. It is a 1-mana 2/2 and it can't attack or block alone, which is obviously good when you have a deck of Goblin Heel Cutters. We see Ninja of the Deep Hours and click on no. Let's get us back to the there we go. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing and we see the Goblin Heel Cutter enter the battlefield again. We're going to attack. The Fairy Miscreant cannot block, and that is all she wrote.
There we go.
You might as well shake each other's hand while you're at it, but Damned Insuran takes down a game number 2, and Kai's Mono Blue Delver deck did not fire at all in that game. That was really good.
That's how it goes sometimes, I think, and that's the...
But that's what red deck being on the play does compared to being on the draw. It's able to get out ahead, get out some value in front.
Yeah.
as we see the players tied up. Game number 3 will soon be on its way. The Daze is coming back in on the play. Much better for Kai. Island, Delver, Daze your first spell. Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Flip the Delver.
Being on the play, I think, is so important against this mono red deck.
Best draw for Delver. Play a Delver. Daze your first spell. Flip Ponder to the Delver. Make your land Ponder and feel like a god. Ponder into the Gush, of course, with the land that you drew first, so the Gush is on the top of your deck, so if you played another Delver.
Yeah.
Living the dream. Living the dream. Hello to Sphinxus. I cannot pronounce that. You're new here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. John Partridge, Chris Wingrave, taking you through Monday Night Pauper today. I would say it's awkward. I think it's funny. I mean, to be fair, actually, no, I have shaken my opponent's hand at the end of game 2 when we had an insanely long and complicated game, and I lost. And I shook his hand. It was a great game. Agreed, most of the time it doesn't happen. The main thing is always that you should shake your opponent's hand at the beginning of the game. It's a good luck, just what I normally do. And also at the end of the game, good bit of sports. Like, even if you lost a horrendous match, be the bigger man, be the bigger person, bigger woman, whatever you would like to do with it. Be the better person.
Did you ever watch Banzai?
No. What is Banzai?
It's this crazy Japanese or Chinese program, kind of like Takeshi's
Castle.
Takeshi's Castle, yeah. But there was a guy. I think it was just a little sort of slight sketch show / game show thing. There was a shaky hands man.
Oh.
And he used to go and shake people's hands and see how long he could do it for.
That
really
sounds terrifying, especially for a game of Magic. I'd like to start playing Magic, please. We'd like to play this game. The players are just going to shuffle up and present their decks to be cut and on to game number 3. I must say, it's very interesting to see double-sleeved Pauper decks. I love it. But I suppose when you're playing with mono unstable islands...
Some of the cards in there are getting expensive now. I mean,
unstable islands.
Unstable islands, yeah, especially if they're foil, right? Right.
So, players are going to... Interesting way of cutting the deck here. We're going to see... Look, 7 cards put to the bottom by Namdin Sudan, and Kai going to open up their opening 7s, see what they look like, what can they do.
So there's a Delver, there's a island, so
it's a pretty good
and
start.
A Daze.
But he's going to mulligan it. Doesn't like it. Obviously, no card draw to follow up that initial. Obviously, no 1-drop to enable himself to get going on the play that he wants.
Really?
So, Namdin Sudan's happy with his hand. What are we wanting? Well, Jack of Familiar is a pretty good start. Plus a hasty threat on turn 2.
Yeah.
We're going. We've got a good hand. Probably don't want the Jackal Pup if somebody's getting Hydro Blasted.
Yes. Yeah, that doesn't seem amazing.
But it does look like we have the Mud Brawler Conscripts, I believe, is the 2-drop in hand. Let me just double check the name.
Try and find that one.
Mug Brawler Cohort, I do apologise, is the 2-drop in hand currently for... Was one of the cards we can see for Namdin Sudan. And is, of course, the 1/1 with 2-mana 1/1 with haste. Seems pretty bad, but it does get +1/+1 as long as you control another red creature. And one of the things we have learnt playing Pauper is 2/2s are quite large, or generally quite well-powered creatures.
Great, Spexus. Nice to see you here. So you're from Germany. Whereabouts in Germany are you from? I used to live over quite near to München.
And I'm thinking about playing some Magic as well. Of course. Why would you not want to play some Magic while you're over here? It's the best part.
So Monday is just Pauper. There's other card games as well that are going on. Tuesday is Legacy. And I believe Draft.
Yeah, Draft is normally fires on a Tuesday, especially on a Friday. Like Friday seems to be the big draft evening. And then
Wednesday you've got Commander and Modern. And Thursday you have Standard and Draft again, I believe.
Oh, wow. So you have a counterspell and a snap to clear the board of Namdin Sudan. And, well, looks like there's another counterspell in hand, so he's not going to be resolving anything anytime soon. Although a land may allow him to. We see the preordain here. We're going to see Delver Island. Well, we'll probably keep the Delver. Seems like a good place to be. Island goes to the bottom. Want to flip that Delver if we have the ability to. But we might see the Island and pass of the turn. Counterspell at the ready.
That's right. And on Fridays as well, we've got all 3.
Yes.
Except for Legacy.
No, sometimes it does fire. So basically, the split with Dice Sphere is Monday is Pauper.
Monday's Pauper, yeah.
Tuesday's Legacy. Wednesday's Modern.
Yeah.
Thursday is Standard, although it doesn't always
Sometimes
fire.
Draft, yeah.
Not really reliable. Friday is obviously Friday Night Magic. The biggest one is always Modern.
Pretty much,
For some reason, people love Modern, and I can now understand why a lot. I play Modern, love its pieces. You then have Sunday is normally a showdown event, normally Standard, and there will also be a winner box. So obviously, the past weekend it was a Modern winner box.
It was a Modern winner box, that's right.
And a Standard showdown, I believe. They fired both at the same time.
They did actually, yeah. There was, I think, only around about 10 people for the Standard showdown. but it still fired, and there were still people playing, and we had about 30, I think, for the event. So we did really quite well on that Sunday.
But yes, so there is plenty of magic.
Yes,
There is
so
magic
much,
pretty much every
yeah.
night. We do coverage of Pauper and Modern. There is a different team do Legacy. They have their own little world, as the Legacy players all want to.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful world to be a part of. I have had the pleasure of playing much Legacy as I can more recently, but Pauper on Monday, Modern on Wednesday, and then Friday Night Magic and Sunday events as well. So please feel free to come join us down here at Dark Sphere in the wonderful city of London.
Yep.
Hydroblast
there to get about the acolytes.
Inner Flame Acolyte.
Yep, has to do that, I think. Otherwise, it's
the 1/1 not looks so strong. We're going to pass the turn back.
See the Delver?
Oh,
Delver.
flips to the Ponder.
On a Ponder as well, so that's even better.
It's as though we set it up with the previous Ponder. We're going to see
There
a
we go.
Sectile Aberration. And we're going to see Ponder counterspell in hands. We're going to see Ponder to start off. We see a Daze, an Island, and a Snap in that hand. Looks pretty nice. Looks like we're going to put
for the shuffle?
And a shuffle.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to do the shuffle now. Better to see.
You sure?
Yeah, I think you want more creatures.
You have
more
counterspell in hand, so maybe you want something to follow up, like a Ninja the Depowers.
Ninja the Depowers
be able
would
to
be
replace your
great
spell
right
stutter
now.
sprite and get the extra card draw.
And return it back to your hand.
Yes, and both players being at 20 life.
Oh, yeah, that's what I think is.
We're not losing anything anytime soon, and 4 damage about to pile across here from Kai, and I can see him attacking, but with the spell tutter sprite, the Mudbrook cohort not really doing anything. How competitive is our store?
I would say very.
No. They are not going to be mad at you if you walk in a shadow deck. In fact, they probably would love you to walk in with a shadow deck.
Everybody here is playing such a big mix of decks and consistently playing different decks each week. So I think there's many people here that play the same thing.
They play real modern decks is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more drive to have the good decks that people have, because that's what they want to play. It's what they enjoy. You've got Eldrazi, you've got Tron, you've got Shadow. So please feel free.
Yeah.
And not all I wouldn't say we're spiky here. Wouldn't say that is.
I would say
people obviously care is the main point, and they're very passionate. And passion can sometimes be misconstrued for things like that. But again, it's a great store. I've played it here all the time. You get people who turn up with their own deck. So honestly, if you want Daylemon 220, if you want to build a vampire deck, go for it. Why not? I'm going to turn up with a random Abzan deck at F&M on Friday because I can. Because that's what I want to play, and I've just got to try and find some profane processions now. So don't like playing meta decks. Play Grixis because it was the main thing. Now I'm playing something different. Moving on. Moving on.
I mean, I played Teamer. It's not particularly like the
this
pillar
is modern,
of the formats. And modern, yeah. So there's people that play their own stuff all the time and do relatively well. And then there's people that play the top tier decks and still do well as well. So, say okay, because if I can call it that, they mostly hate you for that. Okay.
I don't. I love playing against Grixis Death Shadow with my Bant Knight full deck. I love playing that matchup. It lasts forever. Love that deck. But it's the thing with modern.
Like coming in.
Modern, generally, all of the decks are pretty good.
Yeah.
There are very few like quote unquote bad decks. You like your tier 1 decks and your tier 2 decks are about here, rather than in other formats they're about here.
Yeah,
like modern is a very close format, but obviously Pauper even more close. So if you do want to come and join in Pauper, please do. It's a fantastic format. And I'm probably going to ruin the name, but it's Vexas. If you do want to watch Modern, you can either watch us on Wednesday.
Yeah, come and join us on Wednesday.
Or come and join us and play some Modern.
Yeah, come and join us. Come and watch us. We're more than happy to have loads of viewers because it'd be really good to get the content out onto the broad
Sign up starts at 6:30. The event starts at 7. But we're going to see the Inner Flame Zealot able to attack here with the Mudbrook cohort, and unfortunately we've seen a pretty bad position here for Kai. He seems to be running out of spells to do that Lightning Bolt, really dampening. We see a Valley Dasher as well, and a Bushwhacker. This is going to be a huge attack this turn from the mono red deck.
So it's interesting here that this deck isn't playing the snow-covered mountains.
No Screds.
No Screds.
No Screds. No Screds.
Seems like quite a good card.
Scred is a good card, but again, if you're only getting 3, maybe you don't need them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We're going to see a massive attack here from the Valley Dasher, the Mudbrook cohort, and the Inner Flame Zealot. A lot of damage coming in here.
Are you leading a choir? Wonderful.
Oh, wow. It's pretty nice.
That's right.
Wednesday's also bad for me, leading a choir here in Germany at those times. Well, come down and play Pauper on Monday. Why not? It's the best time to come and play
when
Pauper.
Come over? I think you said it was in a couple of months, right? Or a month's time?
Yes. Come play Pauper.
Yeah,
definitely
come play Modern. Come in and just enjoy yourself. There's loads of people here. We're all really friendly.
It's a really good community here. 1 month. It's a really, really good community in here as well. Yes, people want to win. Bless people being proper decks and we'll be happy for you to be in proper decks. But I'll tell you what, there's a really good community here. We see Spellstutter, Sprite and Island. Oh, this has all gone wrong for Kai. A couple too many lands. His opponent not actually hit his 4th land drop so far.
He's going to have to start jumping in front of these blockers now.
Fire blast off the top there for Damdinsuren. And a pretty impressive attack here for...
So you can go in for 3, yeah.
So let's just pull up the old Inner Flame, because I can't...
It's give something haste and +2/+0. Oh, there we go. So he's flashed in the...
Spellstutter to counter the 2-drop.
Counter it, yep. Seems good.
Does work that way, which is pretty good. Inner Flame Acolyte. It's a 2/2. 3-mana 2/2. Yep. Oh yes, what you want. It's what you want to see.
And it can give itself the +2/+0 and
but
haste.
Evoke's pretty good.
Evoke is great.
And we see a Bushwhacker maybe in as well. Spellstutter Sprite countering the 2-drop spell. See another big attack here from Damdinsuren's red deck. Looks like we might be forced to double block. Kai only at 7 at the moment. The mono blue deck, unfortunately, suffering.
He's going to be fire blasted. So I think
the problem with mono blue, no lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Many snaps, but snap doesn't kill the creature. It merely puts it back in your hand. Obviously, we'll pull up that card because it's something that I have seen.
You don't really want Inner Flame Acolyte coming back down and doing 4 damage.
And Valley Dasher as well. It's a hasty threat.
There. I think this is where he gets fire blasted. Although it's difficult to see. Like Kai empty-handed?
Yeah, he's going to sack it and fire blast it, and Kai's going to extend the hand.
There we go.
Mono Blue Delver, the dark side of Magic, falls to the light of Mono Red. Just what you want to see on your game of Magic.
That's right.
2 games to 1, and unfortunately Kai just falling a little bit by the wayside. A few too many lands and a few too few spells.
There was a lot of lands in game.
That lightning bolt was a critical draw to take down the Insectile Aberration. But that brings us to the end of round 2. Question for you, sir. Put you on the spot. What's your Pauper deck of choice?
So
you've done some research.
I've done some research. It'd probably be that Dimir control.
Oh, good lord, he's copying me again. God, what are you doing to me?
It looks fun.
It does look hilarious.
Either that or the Unearth style reanimated deck.
Torment.
With
that looks really good.
Is it Expunge?
Expunge. You've got Exhume. Exhume is a really good card. Ulamog's Crusher again is probably the threat of choice most of the time. I must say, love me some Tron.
Yes.
It does look really cool to play a 5-color pile deck because you play Tron and you can play whatever you want. Mole Drifters, Seagate Oracles. Oh, it's like beautiful, and then it doesn't do anything and dies sometimes.
Yeah. Tron is one of those sort of decks that I think you have to play those certain cards that really slow down your gameplay. Not your gameplay, but really slows down the game. You have to be able to build up, and then once you've got it, you're pretty much locked.
Yeah, and
just eventually getting to draw your win con.
Obviously, the way it does win is pretty significantly quick, but I think one of the nice things is there are so many decks you can play. Like we've spoken about a few different decks. Like Dimir Control seems great because playing blue and black spells seems interesting. But then you can play Mill, you can play Elves, you can play any of the decks that we've seen on camera, plus a multitude of other ones that we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of this wonderful format. And do you want to know the best things? You can't play ridiculous 3-color mana bases in this format because you can't sustain them. Tron being the exception Tron's the exception because it can use the huge amount of mana to activate like Prismatic Omen, which obviously allows it to filter its mana.
Yes.
Not Prismatic. Is it Prismatic?
No, I think that... is it?
Prism. Prismatic Prism, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh.
Not sure. Not certain. We're going to go to...
Prismatic... I think this is going to be...
able to see it,
I think I know which ones this one's actually going to search up, and I don't think it's the right card. But hey-ho, I think it's actually Prismatic Omen is a modern card because I believe it's in the Titan Shift deck. We're looking at Prismatic... Yeah, it's not Prismatic Omen. No, let's bring it back to the booth. Move on from that one. We'll try and work out what it is. I can probably actually have a look on here very quickly.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
We're going to take a very short break,
we
ladies
are
and gentlemen.
going to take a quick break. It's not a Prismatic Lens, I think he says.
Prismatic Lens, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Players are almost done with round number 2, so we're going to take a very short break. We will actually come back before the beginning of the next round and carry on talking, but I need to go grab a drink.
Yeah.
Didn't get much chance between leaving work and coming here, but hopefully you will join us all again very shortly. Probably 5 or 10 minutes time we'll be back. We'll do a bit more talking. We like the sound of our own voices today.
See who else is like on the dark side.
Which dark side are you talking about? Because if it's mono, if it's blue, then
Well,
there's plenty of people on the dark side in this format.
We shall see who's at the top of the tables and give you the top of the table sort of standings and see how it goes.
But anyways, we'll be back very shortly. See you soon. And welcome, late. Let's quickly. We'll shuffle on from that one. Ladies and gentlemen, John Partridge, Chris Wingrave, Chris Wingrave has joined me here in the feature booth commentary area for round number 3 of coverage from Monday Night Pauper. We have a bit of more of a combo aggressive deck versus a value deck. We have blue-red Kiln Fiend versus mono-white value. We have Squadron Hawks, which always says value to me, and a number of other things going to try and play some rusty battle axes, I believe, on top of them. But we're going to send it down to the feature match area. The players are ready. We'll give them the go-ahead, and we'll be on to round number 3 of coverage here today. Players have got their opening hands. We're going to go ahead, and we'll go from there.
Yep. So give them the thumbs up. So it looks like Daniel Johnson had, very, very quickly, just saw a Journey to Nowhere, so that's at least one removal spell in Daniel Johnson's hand, which is going to be very, very important to get rid of this Kiln Fiend that I imagine is why Isaac is shuffling up, because he might not have had any creatures or lands or something. So let's see it there.
Isaac taking a very swift mulligan.
I think so, yeah. No Kiln Fiend,
down to 6. Well, it looked like his hand was a little empty at that point. Welcome, Frogida Prince, to the stream. New here. We are saying hello as you say hello to us.
That's right.
So, who do we think is favoured in the combo aggro deck with very few creatures
I don't know.
versus mono-white value? I'm going to imagine possibly some Luma Threadfields, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe some Journeys to Nowhere. It's good removal. It's a very good removal.
He's got a Journey to Nowhere already in Daniel Johnson's hand, so he's got at least one copy of... Is that
Yep, double check 6 cards, that's good. We have a Delver of Secrets. Mountain. That also looks like it might be a mulligan.
It's got a Delver.
It's got 2 mountains.
Yeah.
Maybe you keep it.
Depends who was on the play. Did we see?
No, he's going to mulligan that one down. Unfortunately, Isaac taking a mulligan down to 5. Playing it safe.
Doesn't need many
Unlike
cards,
us players in the booths who would play it all in, all the time.
Yeah.
As Patrick Chapin said, all aggro, all beat down, all the time. None of this control rubbish. All beat down all the time. It's actually quite nice because there is the trifecta of decks here. You have aggro, mid-range, control, and combo. Correct. We say trifecta. There are actually 4 types that you can play, but normally it's the trifecta of aggro, mid-range, and control. And we're going to keep this one. Looks like we have a keepable 5 here for Isaac. So Daniel looks like he is going to be on the play. We're going to start with a lovely planes from the Zendikar block.
I actually have
Zendikar block.
I have quite a lot of those planes in my collection.
Many people have many of those planes.
That particular type of planes.
And we're going to start off with a Kythian
Javelineers. That comes with 1 javelin counter.
Oh, so lovely, the javelin counter that we see here.
But it's great against the Delver.
And we're going to see a ponder here for Isaac. So trying to sculpt his hand from the unfortunate mulligan he took. That is a Delver on top. We see a Kiln Fiend and an Apostle's Blessing. Don't see that card very often, but he looks like he's going to keep and draw one of them and pass the turn back.
Cards, yeah.
And draw for the turn. Little attack for 1 here. We see a Thraben Inspector, the best common white 1-drop you couldn't possibly want to play. It is a 1/2 that comes with some added value. Probably going to see an attack. The Kythian
Javelineers is fantastic as a Magic card. It's really good fun.
Looks like we're going to find a Squadron Hawk. Looks like we're going to go searching for its friend.
Squadron Hawks.
And probably an attack for 1. Maybe a pass back the turn. No, he's going to pass the turn back, keep up the Kythian Javelineers just in case his opponent has something. Looks like we have an Evolving Wilds as our second land. So unfortunately the Kiln Fiend not coming this turn. Maybe the Delver, although maybe not playing it into the Kythian Javelineers is not a good idea.
It's probably not, no.
There we go. Find 3 more Squadron Hawks. Lovely shiny, lovely shiny Squadron Hawks.
So they're the Iconic Masters Squadron Hawks, but the artwork on those is quite a lot different to the original one.
Yeah. Let's actually put into the card image. Let's see what Squadron Hawk comes up with. I imagine it'll be that
the
one.
Iconic Masters one, yeah.
Which is a shame because the old
art
is quite nice.
I think they missed a trick there that they didn't put like one of the swords in the artwork in its claw or in its beak.
Yeah. So yeah, Squadron Hawk, the Iconic Masters. So when Squadron Hawk enters the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 3 cards named Squadron Hawk. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Let's shuffle your library. Now, obviously, it's good with 3 because generally there are only 3 more in your deck. If you find 4, I believe it's called a Judge Call at that point. We're going to see an attack for 1 here from Daniel. 2 mana being tapped, the second Squadron Hawk into play. And probably we're going to see the Thraben Inspector.
Emeria. Now, was that printed at common? It wasn't common, was it? It was
Emeria?
Mistvale Plains, I believe, was a common.
What?
Emeria the Sky
Spires.
Ruin. Sky Ruin? Emeria... Can't remember the whole name of it, so... Chap, help us out. Emeria...
Let's put it the sky.
Yeah.
It's probably going to come up with something that we don't want, but we'll soon find out. The card image viewer is going to generate a Emeria the Sky Ruin was a rare. Yeah, can't play that one. It was on the same level as Valakut sort of thing, that ideology where you needed other lands of that.
Mistveil Plains, though, I believe was...
Mist, let's have a look.
Mistveil
Plains.
Is it uncommon? Was it? Oh, no.
No. Oh, but you can play Ash Barons. That's a good trade-off. I can't also spell. Oh well, we'll move on.
I think it was like Mistveil, yeah.
What you can do is play this, though.
Ash Baron. Yep.
Or
Ash
just play
Baron's one
Plains.
of those cards now that has jumped up in price.
Yeah, I mean, it's just generally a very good card. The basic land cycling always good when you're trying to play multiple colours. We're going to see a very powerful attack for 3 points of damage here. The Kiln Fiend eating a journey to nowhere. Unfortunately, Isaac having to tap out. Not being able to do anything. And another Squadron Hawk enters the battlefield. The clue token, another foil. Still ready to go for Daniel. Foiling these decks out, quite easy.
Why not? Yeah.
No one else wants foiled Graven Inspectors anymore. And we can see a Nivix Cyclops. So
now
this
is a fun card.
part of its combo.
That's right.
So hopefully I spelled this right.
I think it's right.
Nivix Cyclops, 1 blue, red, 1/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Nivix Cyclops gets +3/+0 until end turn and can attack as though it didn't have Defender, because it currently has Defender.
Dodges quite a lot of the removal in this format, being 4 toughness. So doesn't get disfigured, which Kiln Fiend has the problem of getting disfigured.
Can't be bolted.
Can't be bolted, can't be chain lightninged. There's very little really that...
some value. No, I've ignored the Nivix Cyclops now. I've moved back to the mono white deck that just drew an Avery mechanic. It's value.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. And that was off the Inspector.
Off of the clue. So we're going to see another Squadron Hawk enter the battlefield. All 4 Squadron Hawks. We've now assembled the full squadron with the Avery mechanic.
Cyclops in hand.
And we're also going to see what looks like a Benevolent Bodyguard.
Benevolent Bodyguard, lovely. That is quite a nice card in this particular matchup. Benevolent Bodyguard.
Very nice, very appropriately named when it's trying to sacrifice himself. So white mana 1/1, sacrifice Benevolent Bodyguard. Target creature you control gains protection from colour of your choice until end of turn. We're going to see a Ponder here. The Nivix Cyclops is now a 4/4 and can attack this turn. The Cathan Javelineers, I feel, might be jumping under the proverbial bus.
Yep.
Or something will be. We're going to see a Preordain as well. And we see a Lightning Bolt in hand. Isaac's hand starting to come...
Preordain.
Now, one small problem that Daniel's deck has, it is mono-coloured against the Apostle's Blessing deck.
That does seem like a bit of a problem now that he has drawn it as well. So if he gets to...
So we're currently at a 7/4?
Yep, not enough to get him down. I mean, it could be a fairly large chunk of life, but then he's got a lot of blockers this time, so...
Yeah, I can feel the block happening this turn.
Yeah, I would be almost inclined to start... You'd swing in, get a creature killed, and then set up for next turn with one of these Cyclopses.
Yes. You've got another one in hand. I think we attack for 7, see what your opponent does.
Yep.
They could quad block you and lose everything.
I'm not sure if anyone's playing Squid Delver at the moment. I believe there is a few people just playing Delver anyway in general, but whether it's Squid Delver, I'm not certain. I haven't seen that just yet.
No, not too much of it.
Let's see, so he's pondering over what to do. For
That was a terrible pun.
It was bad.
That was shocking. We're going to see the Apostles of Blessing here.
Paying a life.
Paying 2 life, down to 13. So we're now up to 3.
He's down to 11.
Yep. And we're going to attack for 11 points of damage. Well, you can't block it. It's pro-white. No blocks. Can't do anything.
No, nothing you can do. Can't sort of prevent damage from a colour of his choice. There you go. And even more. So a bit of a lightning bolt.
So that is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's 16 damage. Daniel down to 4.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a solid attack. He's still got to...
I'm at 4. Deal. Done. Not dead.
Not dead, yeah.
Hope my opponent doesn't have another one.
Yeah. If he has another one, he's dead, but then he can't really play around it at this particular present time.
Can confirm, cannot play around Apostle's Blessing. Do you know how you play around Apostle's Blessing? Put your opponent to 2.
Yeah.
That is definitely a way of playing around it, as we see what looks like one of the Guild Pact cycle of Protectors with pro multicolor, I believe, which would be pretty good.
That would be a solid blocker this time.
Which one is that? Guardian of the Guild Pact?
Not certain of the name of that card, no. Guardian of.
Oh,
yeah,
we
good.
can remember
Okay.
our Descension cards. Protection from mono-coloured. So obviously not as good in this position, but generally very good in Pauper, the 4 mana 2/3. But we also
really
have
good card.
the Avery mechanic, which can reset one of our cards. I imagine we reset the Thraben Inspector here.
I imagine it's doing Thraben Inspector. Drawing a card seems a lot better at this moment in time.
It is also what is called a good chump blocker.
Might have attacked with it
Buff runner.
first.
Yep, maybe. Possibly,
extra
yes.
point of
You could have
damage.
attacked with a... Yes, that does miss out a point of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably 6 damage, so we're only doing 5 this turn. Obviously not a huge amount in the grand
It
scheme
might
of
not
things,
mean
but again...
anything.
No, but it's better to do it. Better to need it and not have it than have it not
that's
need it.
right.
And definitely doing that extra point of damage can matter. We're going to see tracking of the clue. We're going to draw an extra card. Looks like a Plains roll off the top. So Plains, Guardian of the Guild Pact in hand. What do you want to do, Daniel? I think you serve in with the team this turn. Don't think you can afford to hold anything back. If your opponent has it, they have it. I think you move on with the game again. So let's see what the attack can be. Good job your opponent didn't have a mutagenic growth last turn.
Yeah, that's right.
It was lethal damage. That's terrifying. That was 20. That would have been 20 damage. How on earth do you deal with that?
A fantastic meta card. I can't believe it was printed at...
Common.
yeah.
Yes. Card is very good. Very good indeed. We're going to see an attack here for 5. Isaac down to 6. Lethal damage on board next turn. And a pass off the turn. Untap from Isaac. Can you find a way of getting through this final point of damage? It does not look like you managed to draw anything this turn, which does mean that those we should be seeing. It looks like it's a lightning bolt.
I think he plays that unblockable, sorcery speed unblockable spell with...
Distortion
Flashback.
Strike?
not Distortion Strike, it's because that's the one with rebound, but the one with flashback.
Oh, the one with the frog jumping into the drain.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that.
But yes, anyone in the chat who can help us with that card would be much appreciated. I think he's going to have a look. Isaac, unfortunately, just coming up a few points of damage short this game. He's going to scoop up his cards, and we are on to game number 2. Nivix, is it Kiln Fiend not quite able to do enough damage in one turn on one attack to take down the mono-white value town, as Daniel refers to it very fondly, as we can see with the Avery mechanics doing a very good job of the value train.
That's it.
As a player who plays with Coursers of Crewfix, Tireless Trackers, and various other powerful value cards, I can appreciate a good value deck.
Yeah.
God to love it. We're going to see Lightning Bolts look like they're coming out the deck, which is a surprise. I would have definitely been tempted to keep those in.
I guess it's possible that there's going to be some protection spells coming in, that the Lightning Bolts aren't so good in this particular matchup, although you would think you'd want to remove some of the threats.
Yeah, I mean,
just trade cards.
unless you're just feeling that the threats in this mono-white deck just aren't worth it, because they are 1/1s and 1/2s, and maybe a 2/2, it might be something that... There we go, Artful Dodge, fantastic. Thank you very much, Mina friend. That is very useful for us to know. Artful Dodge, we're going to pull it up on the screen. A blue mana, target creature is unblockable this turn. Flashback blue mana. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then you may exile it. Now, a very good card, and we'll have to see if he brings it in. It is a monster diving into a drain. It's not a frog diving into a drain, but it looks pretty cool.
It's got legs like a frog.
There are many cards from that set which look like there are things being dragged into the drain, because you also have... I know this isn't obviously from the... It's from the set. Like, there seems to be many things that Wizards like. One of them is dragging things into a drain. I don't know why. They just like dragging things into drains. Something about it. But anyways, players are going to side up. And obviously, one of the...
old transmute.
No, it is not the black-white Pestilence deck. It is simply mono-white. There is people playing the black-white Pestilence deck here. Today we heard that our winner from round 1, Russell, lost to black-white Pestilence in the last round.
In round 2.
Pestilence? See how good my spelling is. And it's even on the chat for me.
Artwork.
Wow, that is...
Something great. Reminds me of Candyman. Did you ever see that film?
Wow. Sorry?
Did you ever see Candyman?
No.
The horror film?
Can confirm I have never seen Candyman. Can confirm I will probably never see it either. But Pestilence, 2 black, at the end of turn, if there are no creatures in play, sacrifice Pestilence. Black mana. Pestilence deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. Now, what is that good against? Elves. Clearly very good against Elves. It's a board wrath.
All against these filthy, dirty Elveses.
Filthy, dirty Elveses. As we see, the players have finished their sideboarding and going
Gollum
to
would be
start.
proud.
Certainly would be. Obviously, one of the key cards that we saw in that last matchup to try and help keep his opponent off of killing him in 1 turn was, of course, the wonderful enchantment. That is a quite... there are some really well-named cards. You have a Path to Exile, and you have a Journey to Nowhere.
From the same
and
set?
a Door to Nothingness.
Door to Nothingness, yeah.
There are some really... But it's interesting that Wizards of the Coast did these really weird artworks, and then they actually did the promo Path to Exile, where the guy is going on a path to exile.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably one of my favourite paths.
It is really nice, that artwork.
There was a good one as well with, I think it was in the Jewel deck.
Yeah.
Jewel deck artwork.
The Remand.
Remanding
away,
as well,
remanding away the Deathrite Shaman. You are banned from Modern. Please remove yourself from our format.
Take it away.
Some very aptly named things in Magic. Less so some now, but definitely they used to make some very good ones.
That's right, yeah. I do like the artwork on this playmat on the right by Daniel.
Looks like a very, very big pirate ship.
Yeah.
It's
city on the ship.
It is a city on the ship. Players are going to look at their opening hands to see Team of Battle Rage in hand, and another mulligan for Isaac. I do think this Kiln Fiend deck mulligans a lot, actually. I think
you need your threats.
You have so few of them. you do have ways to draw to them, but again, if you don't find them, then you do nothing.
I wonder if he's playing the... I don't know if he's printed at common. There was a elemental which, when you cast it, it allowed you to search for another elemental card and put that card on top of your deck.
Maybe.
I'm not sure what it was called. That's really going to bug me now. I will find out though.
Slippery Space is also another one. Was the one from
the Void? It was Devoid.
Devoid from Battle for Zendikar or Oath of the Gatewatch. One of the two of them, but it was obviously a blue mana. Target creature can't be blocked and draw a card. So it cycled. It was great. It was like Expedite, which was the red version, which gave haste instead. So we're going to see a blue-red dual land, gain a life as it enters the battlefield. We see a planes to start. No turn 1 play, but Squadron Hawk at the ready, and looks like Circle of Protection red as well for Daniel in hand. And we're going to see a Delver of Secrets to start draw of the turn.
22.
Pretty good. It's a good place to be. We're going to see the Guardian of the Guild Pact. We're going to see.
It's an uncommon.
Sorry.
It was an uncommon. It was Elemental Harbinger.
No.
Apparently. No.
But then you had Treefolk Harbinger as well, and you had all of the Harbinger effects, and they all found something else.
Yeah.
Treefolk Harbinger was hilarious because you could find a massive Treefolk. You could find Doran, the Siege Tower.
Yeah.
That was always fun. Much better in Commander. Always good fun in there. Always good fun. But we're going to see a flip card here.
Judas, right?
Now it's going to test my knowledge because I'm not very good on Innistrad sets.
Was it Flamekin Harbinger? Okay, it's an uncommon. What a shame.
Do you know what that card is?
I think something duelist. Dun dun dun. Is it a town? Oh, maybe it's Town Watch? No, it can't be that.
Delver of Secrets does flip to the
That
Ponder.
is good. Loyal Cathar? Is it really Loyal Cathar?
Let's have a look.
It's different art then, if it is.
See, another Delver of Secrets.
I thought Loyal Cathar was the sack one.
No, Loyal Cathar.
It is Loyal Cathar.
Very good. Where were you guys? Actually, that is a question.
Yeah,
where were we, guys?
Yeah.
Where were we?
Not learning about Pauper enough. That's clearly what.
So white Vigilance. When Loyal Cathar dies, return it to the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. Beginning of the next end step.
So 2/2 Vigilance is pretty solid here as well.
Yes,
so
it certainly is.
Being able to block anything on the ground, which Kiln Fiend, it does block that at least.
So we're now going to go search for the Loyal Cathar.
The flip side of Loyal Cathar.
That would be it.
So Sunlance coming out of here.
The White Bolt.
Is it? Yeah.
Wonderful card.
The white, not so good bolt.
It's pretty good, though. When you get to do 3 damage in white, it's always pretty good.
Sure.
So obviously the flip side of Loyal Cathar is...
There's a Squadron Hawks, and he's going to go Squadron Hawking.
Unhallowed Cathar, and the flip side of it is a 2/1, and it can't be blocked.
Can't be blocked, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty nice. Certainly one way of getting around the issue cards that your opponents may be putting down against you. So we're going to see the Unhallowed Cathar. 2-1 can't be blocked. It's pretty good. I prefer the front side, but the night side's not bad as well.
Yeah, I mean, they both got the pluses. Being able to have vigilance on a 2-2 seems like a solid choice.
Yes, but a 2-1 unblockable is also now we're going to see the Squadron Hawks hit
right.
the field. And now we should soon be able to block the Delver of Secrets. Well, the insectile aberration anyway, Squadron Hawk.
I think you can take a hit here and then get the Squadron Hawks down the next turn.
You're still at 17. Your opponent hasn't hit their 3rd land drop yet.
Yeah.
We have what looks like a gush, a slip through space. There you are, the card you're looking for. Slip through space is the card of choice here for Isaac. We're going to attack for 3. The thumbs up from Daniel. Thank you very much.
Yes,
and a pass
go down to 14.
back of the turn. Nothing to do now. We're going to have to try and find a land for Daniel and cast 2 Squadron Hawks. Otherwise, that lightning bolt is going to do some very good work.
Will be, yes.
At least he can now attack with his loyal Cathar. We're going to draw for the turn. Looks like a Circle of Protection red off the top. We're going to see a Plains here. Circle of Protection red, obviously really good at turning off Nivix Cyclops.
Yes, yeah. I mean, most of the cops are pretty good actually in this format.
Yeah. We're going to attack for 2. Oh yes, in with the Vigilant Beaks.
I think I would have served in with the Hawk.
No, I think you can afford, like, if you're going to play 2 Squadron Hawks this turn, you can afford to not do it, because now the lightning bolt doesn't do anything.
That's
true. Draw for the turn. Looks like a non-land off the top here.
But then you're trading 3 for 1.
I'm going to Jataxian Probe for life down to 16. See this wonderful hand of Guardian of the Guild Pact, Circle of Protection red, Circle of Protection red, and Squadron Hawk.
Another Squadron Hawk, yeah.
F&M promo, Circle of Protection red. Is a very good card. Especially, like you say, the main win condition for this blue-red Kiln Fiend deck is, funnily enough, Kiln Fiend, which is red, and Nivix Cyclops, which is blue-red.
Still counts as red, though, for the Circle of Protection.
Then we're going to see the Evolving Wilds here. Going to sacrifice. Doesn't enter the battlefield tap, does it? You are allowed to play. You are allowed to play it untapped, and we're now going to see a draw the turn.
Otherwise,
and I think
that'd be a god awful.
a Sunlance drawn here. I think you maybe just attack for 2 and see what your opponent does.
I think you just shoot off the Sunlance right now.
Yeah, maybe he does.
Off. Send in for 5.
Nice. Yeah. Isaac thinking, nice draw, friend.
Yeah.
Nice draw.
Yeah.
Delver Insectile Aberration down. We're going to see an attack in for 5 points of damage here from Daniel Johnson. The Squadron Hawk beatdown begins. Isaac down to 11. What do we see as the follow-up? Maybe we're going to see another Squadron Hawk, or we see the Circle of Protection.
I think it's suitable to do the.
Yep, we're going to see Squadron Hawk.
There was no need because I don't think there's any hasty creatures coming out of the.
Not unless they expedite it.
Yeah.
And then you're probably dead anyway.
Yeah.
We shall soon find out. Isaac's hand a little bit cluttered with too many spells at the moment, not quite able to find what he needs.
It's a 3rd land drop as well.
But it is good. So, untap, draw for the turn. We find what looks like a Jataxian Probe. We're going to see 3 mana being tapped for the Nivix Cyclops here, and we're going to pass the turn back. Untap here with our creatures. Draw for the turn. And we have some Circle of Protections red. We see a Rusty Battle Axe.
Rusty Battle Axe.
So, for those who are unaware, the Rusty Battle Axe is as described. It is a rusty battle axe. It's quite a nice art, I'm not going to lie, for the rustiest of battle axe.
Bone Splitter.
There we go, that'll help.
Yeah.
Rusty Bone Splitter or just Bone Splitter?
Just Bone Splitter, I believe. I think it's Bone Splitter.
I can't do this properly.
It was like a 1 mana artifact, I believe, with a 2 mana equip cost.
Please, Alexi, don't replace me. Bone Splitter, 1 mana. Creature gets +2/+0. It's pretty big.
Yep.
We've seen what swords do on Squadron Hawks. This is just a common version of a sword. It's great.
Yeah.
We're playing Core Blade.
Yes,
We're playing Corax.
Cool.
Playing Corax. We're not playing Core Blade, we're playing Corax. We're going to see an untap
They really
here.
need to do an altar of that, like Squadron Hawks just with swords.
Running around with swords, flying around with swords, if I might be
You can't really run if you're a bird with something in your...
You can, it's just very awkward and very difficult. Little legs not going fast enough. We're going to see Lightning Bolt here. Trigger the Nivix Cyclops. Yep, sure, deal. Trigger.
Yes, I'll have that, thank you.
I will I will not activate my Circle Protection red. And we're going to tap 2 mana and we're going to see Electrickery. Wow, that is huge draw there. And we're going to see Protection of red. He is going to think so. Circle of Protection red. So they are all going to go away. So Nivix Cyclops is the only thing left. And we're going to attack, and that next time would deal damage to you, and it's damage to you. So Electrickery does resolve. It doesn't prevent it hitting creatures.
Yeah.
But
That's
that
right.
is a Celestial Flare off the top. So all the protection you could ever want.
Boom!
Although we do need a 5th land here.
And a creature.
Well, we have a creature in hand, we just need a 5th land.
Oh, it was the protection.
Guardian of the Guild Pact.
Guardian of the Guild Pact, yeah.
Cast our Bone Splitter and pass the turn.
So, yeah, he has to do this right now because he can just die next turn. He has to save the mana.
He has to leave his mana up. Doesn't want to run the
Guild
risk.
Pact guy is 4 mana?
Yes.
So he needs to draw another land drop then before
Draw
he can
for the turn.
cast that.
Interesting enough, does have protection from Lightning Bolt. We're going to see
Yes,
Preordain here, trigger the Nivix Cyclops. We see a mountain there, so pretty good. That's what you want to see. And we probably need to find another Delver
You
of
could
Secrets.
definitely shoot off the Celestial Flare here if he decides
I
to
can
serve
see you
in
doing
combat,
it.
just so then you can resolve your, if he has no other creature to play.
Yep, and I can definitely see that happening. I think it would be a very good place to start. See what happens
Foil
now.
Celestial
We're
Flare.
going to see
as well.
Gitaxian Probe paid with mana. Very rare that you see that, but a good way of doing it. We're going to see the hand
Yeah.
and realise that, well, Nivix Cyclops is looking pretty bad right now as we see
Yeah.
Celestial Flare, Guardian of the Guild Pact, and another Circle of Protection red. It's strange to be commentating on Circle of Protection because I never saw that card before this. It's great. Stop your opponent doing anything because we see Mutadenic Growth also in hand, and this would be a kill if it wasn't for that Celestial Flare and the Circle of Protection red. All the insurance you need against Nivix Cyclops.
It's another draw. Another dude.
Just trying to draw through some extra cards, try and find another threat, maybe a Delver of Secrets. And we are going to probably pass the turn back now. He knows about the Celestial Flare.
Doesn't want to get Celestial Flared.
No, so we draw for the turn. Do we find that a very important land? We find the important
there we
land.
go. So he can just go.
So now we can make Guardian of the Guild Pact. Make that. So protection from mono-coloured.
Yep.
Obviously fantastic against Kiln Fiend.
It's very good.
Mono-coloured. Very good against Kiln Fiend. But now we need to find a second. And unfortunately, Isaac not playing the second Nivix Cyclops meant that he is going to be able to untap with his Circle of Protection red and pass the turn back. The 2/3 not going to be doing any attacking yet. Daniel needs to try and rebuild his board state, and we see a Thraben Inspector, a very good place to start with that rebuilding process. Equip the Rusty Battle Axe. Now it can effectively block, which is what he wants. It has 4 power. He is going to attack.
Any spell that comes out though is going to be...
Attacking is fine. It puts his opponent to 3. I like this attack. Gets to play the Thraben Inspector and pass with Circle of Protection red. 3 mana available for 2 creatures.
Yeah, I think I would have just blocked one of the Cyclopses.
Interesting. So he's going to pass the turn, hold up Celestial Flare as well.
He's got more than enough mana now for the Circle of Protection, so that you have to start being a bit more proactive with this deck from Isaac.
And obviously, it's next time a red source of your choice, so I don't believe it targets.
Yep.
Doesn't target. Those protection spells looking a little bit unfortunate right now. We're going to see a Slip Through Space played here on the Nivix Cyclops just to draw a card. Just trying to cycle.
That's a red card.
That's another mountain. Mountain, Team of Battle Rage, Gush, Mutadenic Growth, and a copy of...
I mean, if he didn't have the Circle of Protections, he's dead. But Circle of Protection says no. Coincidentally, though, the double strike would have to be dealt with 2 mana.
Yes. That is very true.
You could be in the situation... I still think it's going to be lethal, but it's not going to be lethal.
No, you only do the first one because it's source, right?
Is it source?
Yes.
The circle? Next time a source of this
red
choice.
Source of your choice.
Yeah,
so
but it deals damage on the first strike and then it comes back on the second normal.
That's true. And obviously it will trigger the Ferocious because...
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You become 4 power. We're going to see a Gush here, floating a blue mana, return our 2 islands. We get to play them as well.
I think that's
Draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Looks like we have another red spell. Looks like a blue one at the back, another Gush, and a Flame Slash here. Flame Slash, not very good against protection from mono-coloured. He has all the cards in the world. He has a Kiln Fiend as well. Unfortunately, none of them is going to do very much on this board, so he's going to pass the turn back, untap.
I think that was a sensible place to be in. You want to wait until Daniel goes down to less than sort of 3 or 4 mana.
Yep. So we're going to untap and draw for the turn. Now, Alex can put him in a position where he actually has to block.
Yep.
He has to block with one of his guys, loses one of the Cyclops because the Kiln Fiend can't block. It's exactly what Daniel wants to be doing. This protection from mono-coloured 4/3 at the moment, coming very useful. We're going to play a Thraben Inspector. Looks like, yep, Thraben Inspector, get a clue. I think we attack for 4 here. Force your opponent to block. I think you just attack because it's free.
I don't think so. Right now, you're safe at the moment.
You force a block.
But then you're just going to trade off your only win con at the moment.
But you, okay.
For a card.
Maybe.
You're trading one card for one card here. I mean, it could be any of these right now. Like he blocks. Yeah. I think card mutagenic growth here.
You could Celestial Flare it.
You could Celestial Flare it.
You could say, okay, do you want to do anything? Any blocks? No. There we go. Yep. I think we might see the Celestial Flare now.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
We got to spell out your hand.
Yeah, I mean, like, getting rid of the Celestial Flare here is actually really good because it's putting mana down on Daniel's turn as well, so it's forcing him to do something. So now he's at 3 mana. Both of these creatures on Isaac's sides are going to get huge with the Team of Battle Rage.
Yep.
Forcing 3 activations. So if he draws another interactive spell or has some protection, yeah, it's not going to be too bad. I don't think he got it, though. He's got mutagenic growth. Yeah, sadly, I still don't think he's going to be quite in the way of killing people right now. But so you got 2 Team of Battle Rages there? Or is it only 1?
He looks like he has 1 Team of Battle Rage in hand and a mountain.
1 Team of Battle Rage.
Mountain, Island, Team of Battle Rage, Gush, Mutagenic Growth.
He can't do any of the Mutagenic Growth anymore, or the Apostle's Blessing.
No, he is at 1 life.
He's at 1.
So that is a dead card.
Wait a minute, why is it at 1? Because they didn't update.
Look,
it was 3 before.
We forgot to update the. We forgot to update this. So we're going to crack the clue in the end step, making most of his mana available to him, drawing for the turn. Can he find a Journey to Nowhere? But then again, maybe not necessarily what he wants.
Not so much,
Looking for a way to close out the game here for Daniel. Again, you've got what was that? It looks like he has something in hand, so might see the attack here.
Yep.
Like you have a backup card in hand, so you can afford to maybe attack here with the Guardian, trade again.
Oh, you can easily trade in with the Guardian.
The problem with Apostle's Blessing makes it so that
he can't cast Apostle's Blessing, he's at 1 life.
That is true, and he has no white mana.
Yep.
So I think you
there is no other spell at the moment. He has to use his
Gush.
Not the Gush. He has to use the
Team of Battle Rage.
The Team of Battle Rage. He has to use the Team of Battle Rage, and it has to be on the Niv-Mizzet Cyclops,
which does mean that he trades 1 for 1, which is maybe not what he's wanting to do, but we're going to attack here for 4, force your opponent, force the hand. It does get Team of Battle Rage out of the hand, which isn't a bad thing at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. But this cycle protection is just going to completely... You can't block
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep, you can't do that one, unfortunately, Kiln Fiend. You are not able to do that. Unfortunately, this
he has to use the Team of Battle Rage to save the Niv-Mizzets here.
It actually kills the Guardian.
It kills the Guardian before it gets a chance. Yeah, that's right. So he's trading 1 for 1. He's still thinking.
Oh, so we can circular protection. Oh, no, because it's damage to you, so it can't protect it from this.
Yeah, unless he's got another removal spell or like.
Doesn't look like he does. Nope. So, man down. Trade 1 for 1. Guardian the Gold Pact hits the graveyard. What is the follow-up here? It looks like he's drawn a Loyal Cathar. That is a good draw there, and probably we can pass the turn back again. We've got 5 mana available.
Guardian of the Guild Pack has protection from mono-coloured. That's why the Kiln Fiend couldn't block then.
I think we maybe suit up one of the guys. Suit up the Loyal Cathar with the Rusty Battle, with the Bone Splitter.
Bone Splitter. It makes sense. The Vigilance with +1 seems good.
It also does make it full power, so it can block.
Is it +1/+1?
+2/+0.
Oh, +2/+0. Yeah, no. Seems good.
So we're going to see a Preordain here for Isaac. Obviously, we are playing multiple Phyrexian mana and not able to cast it. And that, unfortunately, that Electrickery looking pretty sad right now against the 2/2 and the 1/2.
That's right.
It was good before, maybe not so much this time as well. We'll see what Isaac wants to play for his turn. He's going to...
I think the Blitz decks does have Flaring... Most of them have Flaring Pain in the sideboard. However, I'm not so sure... Not so sure if we've seen it yet out of the sideboard, but this is only game 2. I can imagine it's there, but...
No, wrong button. Let's not do that. Let's not do that one. That would be really awkward and probably get me shot by the boss. Let's put it in the right place. So, Flaring Pain. Save. Flaring Pain. Damage can't be prevented this turn.
Yes.
Flashback for a red.
Yep. Seems good.
No, is it Blitz? Does not seem very blitzy. That is honestly
correct.
Correct.
The cycle protection is kind of locking them down right now. That's the big issue.
Let's be honest. Daniel would be dead right now if it wasn't for this copy of Circle of Protection Red. Even though he has the other one redundant in hand, it is still a fantastic place to be. What has been your draw step, Daniel, for the turn?
So he's gushed. He's gushed this turn. Didn't draw into much interaction.
Well, I think you start by attacking.
Yep. These Kiln Fiends are going to do a good job of at least killing the front end.
Oh, wow. Another copy of Guardian of the Guild Pack. That free blocker against our lovely Kiln Fiends. But I think right now we send in the oh, no, he's going to pass the turn back. Interesting. Your opponent at 1 life deciding not to attack with the Loyal Cathar, forcing the blocker, maybe the trade. And I think with it be a 2-for-1 trade, you're more than happy to do that one. Your opponent can't cast any spells with Phyrexian mana in them. Even a Lightning Bolt's pretty bad at that point. Right. You get another blocker.
Yep.
So we're going to see a pass of the turn. We can see Isaac see what he wants to do. Island into play.
I would say that's a bit ballsy because Daniel's at 14. It's quite a high life total, but these creatures get out of hand very, very quickly. So
looks like we drew a cycle land off the top here for Daniel. He's going to cycle that straight away. Looks like a Judge promo one. Or an F&M, old F&M promo maybe as well.
There you go.
Very nice. So we're going to see some mana being tapped here. I think you attack first. You maybe put the Bone Splitter onto your... looks like he has another Bone Splitter in hand. So maybe you play the Bone Splitter and arm up your Guardian of the Guild Pact and attack with both of them. Force 2 blocks.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, no, he's just going to swap it across the Guardians of the Guild Pact. Save his mana, be a bit more mana efficient.
Yep.
And means he has 5 mana open available. I still like the play of keeping 3 mana open and just...
You've got to force something here because the Niv Mizzix is just going to trade with the Guardian, isn't it? So
if he has anything.
If he has anything. He has to have something,
that he can cast. Or he'll kill himself.
Those Phyrexian mana spells are just sitting in his hand.
So we're going to see another Bone Splitter into play, and we're going to send... wasting a mana, swapping them over. We're going to see an attack with the clowns. In with the team, Guardian of the Guild Pact and Loyal Cathar attacking here. We're going to see the block.
The Niv Mizzix has to block the Guardian, and the Kiln Fiend has to be chucked in front of the Cathar, so yeah.
So we're going to see both die, unfortunately.
The Circle of Protection only stops when damage is going towards you as a player, so I'm wondering whether that works with Planeswalkers. Probably not anymore,
no, because they're not you.
Yeah.
Because remember, Wizards changed it so you can direct burn at a Planeswalker. You don't have to go player and redirect, which it used to be when you could prevent it like that.
And that was a lot of fun, actually.
A lot cleaner.
It was. I liked it being... I liked the old way where you target the player and then you could redirect it, because it forced people that were playing sort of like the Jeskai Nahiri decks, where you wanted to bolt the Nahiri, but you would say target you with the bolt, and they'd be like, yeah, sure, and then you go redirect to Nahiri. So they sort of mind game them a little bit.
Maybe.
But that was the old
maybe. But anyways, Daniel Johnson taking it down round number 3 against Isaac Dilov and his Blitz deck 2 games to 0. Mono white. Proves that Circle of Protection Red is a very powerful Magic card.
It is, yeah.
For those of you who were under the illusions that the card was not very good, well, that might have just dispelled any of those thoughts that you had.
It seemed like a solid choice.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Seemed like a very, very potent sideboard card is the way I would describe that one. And as we see the players finish game number 3, we're going to have a quick look around. There are only a couple of tables left.
About
4 tables left.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of tables still playing.
Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4...
5 groups of people playing?
4, 5, yes. 5 tables still going. So we're going to take a quick break.
Yep.
We'll be back very shortly again with the fourth and final round.
The fourth and final round, that's it.
Of today's Monday Night Pauper. John Partridge, Chris Wingrave. I've pronounced it correctly. It's your surname. It's the flow. Just want to go Quith Wingrave. We would like to welcome you back for round number 4 very shortly. We shall see you then. Why do you keep doing that? It's like you're trying to ruin my day and ruin my introductions. I will avenge this one day. But it is John Partridge and Chris Wingrave bringing you round number 4 of our Monday night Pauper here from the lovely Dark Sphere in London.
That's right.
Players are ready. We're going to give them the thumbs up. We have Elves again, and unfortunately for him, a horrible matchup, I believe, in the Pestilence deck. But we shall send it down, get the players going, and we'll actually see how this match goes and see if Elves can eke out a win at any point in this. Let's give the players the go-ahead. Round number 4 is upon us.
Flaring pain. We might have to get Pestilence off. Pog Champ, it's Pestilence, that's right. Let's get loads of Pog Champs in the chat. Pestilence, hurry up. Let's see if we can get that up onto the screen. Let's see. Flaring Pain's probably not going to get played at this match, so let's get Pestilence.
There's no red mana, so we should be... Well, no, actually, that's a lie. Well, Elves can make red mana.
That's right.
Pestilence. I don't want to play a creature deck, and this is why I don't want to play a creature deck. 2 black.
But then 4 mana, 5 as well to do the damage. It could be over by then.
The question is, does he have a chance? Does he have any way of cheating mana into play? So maybe a Dark Ritual?
Maybe.
Is Dark Ritual common?
Yeah, that's right.
Dark Ritual is common.
It's definitely common. It's definitely played in this format.
So players are going to open up at their opening hands. We may have to
Dark
tell them to quick shake of hands. May have to tell them to play more centrally, but players are going to look at their opening hands. We see a Scout Barons, a Plains, and some other cards up there for, looks like a Thraben Inspector maybe for Zach, and a Grizzly End, or no, Deadweight, sorry, in hand. It's obviously going against the Elf deck. We're going to see the Land Grant to start. We're going to see a Hand of Elves, Essence Warden, Priest of Titania, Viridian Longbow, Life...
a Nettle Sentinel?
Nettle Sentinel, a Elvish Vanguard, and what looks like a Life... I can't tell you what the card is. I will have to go to my phone because it's a new art.
Essence Warden, that is... Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what that one is.
I do know what it is. I just need to try and find it more than anything else. So let's quickly go... Wrong button.
We go to the
wrong button. Let's see. So we're now going to go 3 rounds into coverage into round 4. We shall see what the most popular deck is in Pauper right now. Pauper. See what is the most popular deck. Mono Blue Delver still. Elves hasn't overtaken it. 29 decks to 27 from MTGO.
Fair enough.
That pulled up 5-color Tron. That wasn't what I wanted.
It looks like we have a Korean Nettle Sentinel. That's nice.
So we see a Scoured Barons, Zach up to 21. That's Mono Blue Delver. I'm not having a good day here. Let's go back to that one. And we're going to see Essence Warden to follow. No second land, unfortunately, for Alex.
Tap. Yeah, wonderful.
Now, one thing to bear in mind in Alex's version, if he's on the Land Grant version, he runs very few actual lands. So we're going to see Thraben Inspector and another Thraben Inspector, 2 very good cards. Not so much against the Nettle Sentinel, but a double block.
Love the clue token there. That's the full art clue token that they have done.
I've got one signed by with Steve Baines and Nicholas Eck. I was very happy with mine. It was the funny one they do from JK Entertainment, the Inspector Gadget clue. Love that one. So much fun. So we are looking at the
Viridian Longbow gets cast here.
Well-Wisher.
Doesn't attack him with the Nettle Sentinel because he can't untap.
Yep.
And it's a lot better on blocks.
See a pass off the turn back here, 3 mana available. Some players really do enjoy their what's it called? Unstable full art basics.
Yes.
Very much a fan. I'm going to see Birchlaw Ranger here. Pretty good draw, able to maybe make another creature this turn. We got Well-Wisher, which is 2 mana, and also a Priest of Titania, which may be the next play.
I think that will be in the next few turns.
See what he has.
Because you can only activate for 1 mana right now, and Priest of Titania is 2, so not this turn.
So we're going to see a black mana here. We're going to see an Ash Barons basic land cycled.
Looks like it is a foreign Ash Barons.
That looks like there is a 3-worded Ash Barons rather than the standard 2 as you would expect from the English ones, but we're going to see a swamp being fetched up, another unstable land. And then remember, people, when your deck doesn't cost a lot, you flash pimp your lands.
Why not?
Why not? Because this is a beautiful way of doing it. We're going to see a swamp
Go
fetch.
For the clue taken.
Draw from the clue. Draw for the turn. Does he find a Pestilence this turn? You can see Alex not looking too happy at this game.
That's right. It's going to be rather rough if he does have Pestilence.
So we're going to see a Deadweight take the Birchlaw Ranger out. It's a very promising way to go.
Got to deal with the mana elves here right now.
Definitely. We see what looks like an Oars of... that is...
Something that enters tapped, and is that just from the newer? No, it's a Khans, I believe. Is it the Khans? Is it Innistrad?
We're going to see Quirion Ranger here. Maybe able to pick up the land and replay it because I haven't played a land this turn.
Bing, bing.
but no mana
I think
elf,
you just do it right now.
unfortunately.
Yeah, sure.
Unfortunately, no mana elf to push things forward, so we might
Surprised he
see.
didn't send in for an attack here, though.
We
Sentinel?
are going to do this one again.
Yeah.
I think he's worried about the double block as much as anything. We're going to see 2 mana being
That's
tapped
true.
again, and the clue being sacrificed.
Kabira Crossroads.
Looks.
Oh, it's the gain lifeland. Yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would have been
So-
from Zendikar then, I guess. The Kabira Crossroads, right? Is that Zendikar?
Kabira Crossroads. Soon find out. Oh, no,
Pestilence.
Pestilence.
There
Oh,
we
we're done. And Elves are done for the game.
GG.
Not very happy with that one. Kabira Crossroads, I have no idea what set that's from, but when it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Tap for a white mana.
Yep.
ETBs tapped. That was fairly swift. The elf player drew 0 extra lands and died.
Yes. Yeah. When you don't have that turn 1 mana elf to play off of the land grants, free,
Yeah.
costing, get yourself a forest, it's going to be very rough to get ahead of the game.
Yeah. The black-white deck didn't do a lot. It cast...
Pestilence.
Maybe, yeah, well, that won at the game. Ironically enough, the actual deck didn't do... He didn't have to do an awful lot. His opponent played some 1/1s and 2/1s. He played a 1/2, which is a pretty good wall. It's
Yeah.
like a wall, that is, against the elf deck. That Thraben Inspector is a wonderful 1 mana
Yeah.
white card. See
So
players
what
looking...
options do we have then in the elf deck to beat up on this?
So, if we were to go with possible elf options, we have Relic of Progenitus. We do
Looks all good.
have, looks like, we have Gleeful Sabotage. That looks good. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, Conspire.
No, that would be
That
good.
looks real good.
Something that you can do with Conspire is obviously instant speed. It's instant speed, right? So you
I
can
believe
tap
so.
with a green
No,
creature
it's
and it costs
sorcery.
green? Oh, it's a
Sorcery.
sorcery speed.
Sorcery with Conspire, which is still
Right.
fine. Pestilence can...
As long as you can get to 2 lands, then
yeah.
yeah.
Relics probably not fine. It's probably okay. No, probably don't want that one. Yeah, we're probably just looking at 4 Gleeful Sabotage. Just a way of trying to kill the enchantment. Because at the end of the day, you have to.
That's right.
If you don't,
I
then
think
you're in for a world of hurt.
I mean, the green has a wonderful library of sideboard cards that you can bring in for enchantments and artifacts.
Things like Naturalize.
Naturalize, yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Back to Nature,
Appetite for the Unnatural.
yes.
That was both. Back to Nature had the problem of only being enchantments.
Yeah.
But it was all enchantments. I did not like
Yes,
playing
yeah.
against that card in Standard when you're playing an enchantment
Not
deck.
sure though if there was a tune with Aether as well, or was it a tune
No,
with-
that
that's the-
got
yeah,
banned.
they got
That
banned,
found
yeah.
your basic land. That one was not
What was the
legal
one where
anymore.
it made you shuffle an enchantment back to the...
Oh, Natural Obsolescence.
No,
One and
it
a-
was
one and a
different.
green.
Well, there was one there was that, okay, but there was something else, I believe, that was in Standard Time when there was gods around, so that would have been
Oh, you had like Fade into Antiquity. You had
Fate to Antiquity.
Oh, it was not Return
Return
to
to Ether?
Return to
Yeah,
Ether, maybe.
Return to Ether, something like that, yeah. Unravel.
Oh, Unravel the Ether.
Unravel the Ether. There we go.
We'll double check. It is an uncommon, so it obviously won't be legal. So yes,
Yeah,
Unravel
right.
the Ether. Like we found it, but obviously you've got some. I believe it was you had a lot of commons, like obviously.
Naturalize has been printed numerous
Like
times.
this card is in most sets.
Most
Like it
full
actually,
sets, yeah.
it actually went for a while.
It's with a Z. Naturalize.
Americans taking our language and ruining
But minus an S.
Huh?
There, that's good now. There we go.
That looks like a hand of lands.
Oh, it's in
And
the recent one as well. There you go.
yeah, it was. It actually hadn't seen print for a while.
It's like, so it's kind of
It's a dinosaur foot crushing a.
Brontosaurus style.
Yeah, there's a very big dinosaur. But actually, funny enough, Naturalize hadn't seen print for a while. We've been dealing with a lot of other ones.
Like
We had Dissenter's Deliverance. We had, we had
Descend into madness.
I'm not going to even type that one. I won't be able to spell it properly. We had Dissenter's Deliverance. We had Appetite for the Natural, and then we got Naturalize back. And obviously, Naturalize is great because it's a common, so it is viable to be played in Pauper. And sometimes you need an answer to things like Pestilence. You also need answers to Affinity, to Trom.
Yeah.
And this is a very good
There is
answer
that
you can do.
creature, I believe, that has. It's kind of like the seal, from the seal cycle. The seal.
We had Manglehorn, which got rid of artifacts.
Was it just artifacts?
So Manglehorn was a 3-mana
wasn't it?
2/2 ETB, destroy target artifact.
Another
Other artifacts
ETB.
into battle tapped.
Because you got Reclamation Sage there as well, but that's
Rec
not.
Sage, yep.
That's
Kasali
uncommon.
Pride Mage.
Kasali Pride Mage again. I think it's uncommon.
Brontodon.
Brontodon. Brontodon.
Okay, I'm actually gonna.
Oh, it's a thrashing Brontodon, right?
I believe it is. I think it is. Yeah, thrash.
Yeah.
Oh, it's uncommon. Oh, it's uncommon. Can't be
No.
played. But we're going to see Bajuka Bog as the first land. Not at the most value
Not
here,
at the moment.
but a much better start here for Alex. Obviously, unfortunately, I'm forgetting to untap his
With
Nettle
the-
Sentinel. We're going to see a dead weight get rid of the Elvish Vanguard.
Yep.
Straight away, can't allow that card to be getting very powerful as we see the Orzhov Basilica to follow it up.
That's
And obviously,
right, yeah. So
how
that
do you
is the
spell that one?
Karoo land.
Yes.
Or from the Karoo land cycle, anyway.
It's Karoo Bounce Lands, I believe.
That's
Orzhov
right.
Basil. Now, for those of you who do not know what the Karoo Bounce Lands are that we're referring to, what they were is they were lands that, when they entered the battlefield, you returned a land you controlled to its owner's hand, but they tapped for 2 different colours. Now, this is part of a combo deck in Modern. Well, not this one specifically, but the Bounce Land cycle. But they were also, as far as I'm aware, very powerful in the Standard cycle that they were in. Reasonably good.
And they were particularly good when you were drafting through the Iconic Masters as well. They were just a solid land choice, the dual land of... Well, I mean,
Dual
there wasn't
lands.
many dual lands of choice, but particularly useful.
For those, and again, for those of you who may not know, dual lands are very good cards in
Very good cards.
pretty much any limited format ever. If you have dual lands, it'll be good for you. As we're going to see 3-man being tapped here by Zach. On turn 3, we're going to see a Chainer's Edict and a Thraben Inspector. 2 very good cards. We're going to see Priest of Titania to follow up, and the Nettle Sentinel with along with it. 3 mana available. A few more lands this time, which is good for Zach, which is good for Alex because he struggled a little bit on lands last game. See what we have this time round. Looks like we have Aquarian Ranger in hand, but it looks like we're just going to make both of these and pass the turn back.
The Nettle Sentinel is such a good blocker here as well.
Now, do we have does Zach have Pestilence to follow up? Be pretty good
Just
if he
needs
does.
a land, that's it.
Nope. Looks like we are going for a course
Skyfisher. Hello.
Very nice.
Can't replay the Skyfisher, sadly, but...
No, but we can get another Basilica into play. And a pass back of the turn. Now, Zach has 2 lands in play, and he makes 4 mana from them. Gotta love these Karoo Bounce lands, as we see an untap with the Priest of Titania. The 2/3 doing a very good job of blocking this Elf deck right now, and another lead, the Stampede. It's possibly a very good follow-up, but what we're going to see first is an Elvish Visionary to...
Mystic.
Elvish
No,
Visionary?
Elvish
That's definitely the Visionary this time. Draw a card. 2 mana, 1/1, draw a card. We're going to see a forest here for Alex, possibly another one.
There's been a couple of arts with that Visionary, right?
Yes, there are. You've got the
Russell
promo
had
one.
the promo one,
Yes. So we're going to make 4 mana here. We're going to make a call, lead the Stampede here for Alex. We're going to see...
This Elf deck, when it gets going, it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? You can't not love putting 3 or 4 more cards off into your hand off the lead the Stampede.
That's pretty good. There was a Timberwatch Elf, a Priest of Titania, Elvish Mystic, and some other things as well. And we still have 1 mana in hand, so we might as well... Well, if our opponent's got Pestilence next time, we're dead anyway, so...
Yeah, I mean...
and it looks like he may actually have it in hand, which is going to be really terrifying. It looks like he does have Pestilence in hand. So this game might be over very quickly, unfortunately, for Alex.
Might be able to move on
doing his things,
person, but,
doing what he does best, combo killing people with Pestilence.
combo.
This is a terrifying deck. This Pestilence deck, if you're playing this Elf deck. I can understand why he realises it's a terrible matchup. I've just realised, and it's just when you see what the card does, it's just like, I'd like to concede this game because I can't win.
Well, we know he already has a Swamp in his hand as well, so he can play Pestilence.
We're going to draw
Swamp.
for the turn.
There we go.
Make Swamp, make Pestilence. Good game. Thank you very much for coming. And
1 damage to everything. Doesn't kill the Nettle Sentinel.
Doesn't kill the Timber. Doesn't kill the Elves either. Both players take 1.
Yep.
We do get to untap. Unfortunately, he needs to find a enchantment destruction effect now.
Yes.
If he does,
now, and then possibly
we're playing
a game. Yeah. I believe he has another Lead the Stampede, right? To draw for turn?
3 mana.
Crucian Grip.
Looks. I have no idea what that card is.
Ooh. So that's from...
That's an
Onslaught?
old card.
From Onslaught? It looks like the Onslaught art. Onslaught... what's from Onslaught then that could be something that he's not scooping to? I'm not certain.
May have to go and do some investigating. We're going to see an attack here for a fair amount of damage, actually.
Yeah. Mercadian Mask, is it? Okay. Oh, it's Spider Cell Karma. Okay. Right. That makes more sense.
Oh yeah, because it makes it gives it extra toughness.
Yes, that's true, Rudimancer. Yeah, that's very true. So Spider Cell Karma, that's still pretty good, because that gives you toughness, right? On the creatures. And reach. So let's see if we can get that up on the chats. Yeah, +0/+1. So it's still a pretty good answer here right now to the Pestilence.
Just allows you to survive a bit longer, but unfortunately it's going to mean that a lot of stuff...
Well, it just means that he's going to have to clear... Zach's going to have to kill his creatures. Yeah.
But it does mean that the Timberwatch Elves do allow one of them to survive. Yes, Spider Seal Karma.
Yeah.
Creature control have +0/+1 and have reach.
Yeah. The natural thing for anything spidery.
Really good, and it is an enchantment as well. So these all have 3 toughness, which does mean a trade here. Unfortunately, still in a position where he still needs to find an enchantment removal spell to kill the Pestilence. And you can see Alex hunched over the table. He knows that his time is quickly running out. Although Pestilence can't be the win condition because Zach is at lower life total than
exactly,
Alex.
Right? So
although he has about 6 cards.
He's going to have to be careful here, though, because if Alex just sort of empties out his hand again or plays enough cards
it looks like he has a backup Pestilence as well. Must be nice.
Well, yes. Yeah, no, it's certainly going to be true. You're still going to have to be worried, though, about your life total going into this.
Bajuka Bog, target Alex, sure. Doesn't do a lot to the elf deck. It's nice, though. It's very nice.
It's one of those incidental cards, isn't it, that you can just play and have pure value.
You have a lone missionary gaining 4 life. That is fantastic, because obviously now it means that Pestilence is actually a win condition in itself. That will kill the lone missionary. Up to 14 for Zach.
Not quite yet, though, unless he's obviously going to attack him with this core Skyfisher first.
So we see a Ash Barons being cycled as well as the production of the Thraben Inspector. Up to 2 clues. Alex helping his opponent out. Swamp into hand here for
I think
Zach.
he knows the writing is on the wall now.
Yes.
The
does feel like it's starting to slip away.
Yeah, I think we know what's going to happen.
He's going to pass the turn back. We need to find that enchantment removal spell now.
Yeah. It has to be now.
If he can find it, then we might actually have a game. But we shall soon.
It seems, it seems like ooh. Oh yeah, unfortunately, Grossmore, we don't have the deck list up here at the moment because this is just a...
Make me some 1/1s. Wow, okay, that's fair enough. Like, they're not 1/1s, they're obviously 1/2s.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he's not attacking, but I guess he wants to try and survive. He's going to Pestilence the board, deal 1 damage to both players, get rid of his lone missionary, untap with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana available with 4 lands in play. We can see 7 mana now available, so we could just raff the board.
Yeah, you got to attack in here,
Your opponent has no cards in hand. But again, these what they call Timberwatch Elves are doing a lot of work here.
Yes, I mean, they're going to offer up potentially killing the Skyfisher, but it depends what you want to kill the Skyfisher with.
This Spider Seal Karma is doing a lot of good work here for Alex.
Certainly a good option here against this Pestilence.
But again, you don't really want to block because Pestilence then mows down your creatures. Like, just take the damage. It's 3 damage.
But then Pestilence is going to win eventually.
No, but your guys are like your Timberwatch Elves allow you to probably almost lethal damage your opponent at some point. But again, it's a challenge because he is quite far behind. Can you obviously the Timberwatch Elf can use itself to pump?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Self-pump itself, so a target creature gets +X, where X is the number of elves you control. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, +5. So Pestilence is going to deal 1 damage to all creatures. So both players losing a life. 16 plays 17, and again, now we're going to have
2 activations of the Pestilence.
So
seems odd that you do 2 because then you're killing your.
So he's going to protect the Elvish Vanguard in response. We'll do another point of damage. So that now trigger is still on the stack.
Yeah.
So that's now 3 damage to everything.
Yeah.
So which means that everything will die. So it's 2. It's 1 on the. Was 1 at the moment. 1 still on the stack. This is another 1 on the stack.
They're still going to get the minuses though, so this is going to wipe the board after everything's finished.
Everything will be dead. Both sides.
Except for the whatever's getting pumped by the Timber.
No, because you can. The Timberwatch, the thing that the Timberwatch was targeting, will be dead. So the Priest of Titan is going to fight a load of mana. Yeah, this is all in response to the triggered activation of the So that's going to die. They're going to die.
Yep.
So then we've got
Next
2
one.
damage on the. We've got 2 damage resolve, 1 on the stack. So.
But they got the plus 0+1 from this spider silk armor. So the.
So he's working out how big that creature is. Of course, Skyfisher now dies.
Yeah.
Those Timberwatch Elves will also die to the 3 damage, which now resolves.
Yep.
And so does the Nettle Sentinel. And we're now going to play a Doomblade. Sure, okay.
Well, yeah.
Alex has had enough. He's done. His Pauper day is over. His Pauper day is over with an unfortunately horrible matchup to finish.
A bit rough, really, isn't it, for poor old Alex there? But that's it. I think
it is Pauper. It is Pestilence.
Yeah.
It is a good matchup for the Pestilence deck, but then the Pestilence deck will have bad matchups. I imagine it is quite bad against the control decks, where they can just counter the Pestilence and not really ever care about it. Back in the booth, John Partridge, Chris Wingrave, and that brings us to the conclusion of round number 4, and of course our conclusion to our coverage of the Pauper Monday. Now, what have you felt the best thing of today was? What have you got out of today?
Pestilence is rough.
Pestilence is rough. Feels bad, man.
Deck seems like it needs a few more pieces.
What's this?
So the Is It Blitz deck that we had on round 3 seemed a bit tough to be facing in against something with like protection from monocoloured stuff.
Yeah, I think Circle of Protection Red probably skewed that one a little bit from what we would expect.
It seems like you need exclusively a blue threat in that list, or you go 3 colours.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if we're going to have another backup match here, though, unfortunately, because it's going to be a bit of a hassle getting them in the feature match area.
I think people are finishing and heading home.
People are jumping straight home.
I'd like to go home as well. I've got a train in half an hour that I would like to try and catch. But, so, do you have your own Pauper deck?
I don't have my own Pauper deck. I probably will be investing one at some point, but
we have another convertee. You had me last week, and you have Chris this week, converting the coverage team who don't play the format but love it very much, and we'll be looking to get our own decks.
So Modern Wednesday.
Modern.
We have a lot
so actually, Legacy tomorrow.
Legacy tomorrow.
Now we're not doing that one. That is the realm of the Legacy players. They have their own rotation, which is working quite well.
I believe they drag them out of caves into the coverage.
Drag them out of caves with their with their decks that have gathered dust and the trophy cabinets that are bare and empty now.
But it's a lot of fun. I do like watching that.
Legacy so
stream,
much fun. It's a nutty format. It's wonderful format. The thing is though, do I like it more than Pauper? I don't know anymore because it's
different, isn't it? But
it's a terrifying price tag that things get attached to in Legacy. But that is tomorrow's coverage, and then Wednesday brings about the most wonderful of formats for us to commentate. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I can't say that on the Pauper stream. The Pauper stream is definitely the best. No, I mean, in all honesty, all Magic formats are very good. Pauper is a phenomenal format that I've now been exposed to and really loved it.
That's right.
We're going to cover Modern on Wednesday, so if you would like to join us then, you'll see myself,
come in.
Chris. We've got a lot to talk about, because obviously, what was it the weekend?
The Pro Tour.
The Pro Tour was a very good event. Fantastic to see many pros coming out in support of Modern, who had previously been slating it quite heavily, I am not going to lie.
The top 8 of the Pro Tour just gone.
Just
as
wonderful.
A dip in, just a small little tidbit. 7 unique decks.
7 unique decks.
So just for that whole sort of aspect, right? That's 7 completely different decks, and even the humans decks, there was a bit of
there were some differences
in the list, and quite some are playing Kessig Malcontent, some weren't, some were
playing Collector Company,
some was on the Vile list instead. So it's broad. It shows you that Modern is such a broad format. There's about 30 decks, I think, that you can play that are still can win a GP.
You know what?
So
we're going to have a competition between the coverage team. It's probably not really much of a competition because you can pretty much name 30 decks anyway. I was going to have a competition of who can name the most decks, but it doesn't really seem to matter. We're going to have a discussion about it on Wednesday. I've had a great time. You've had a great time. I would love for you all to join us on Wednesday, and then again next Monday.
Wednesday,
Again next Monday for even
Monday.
more Pauper. It's the same time each week, Monday or Wednesday. You will see our wonderful smiling faces on the other end of your cameras. Thank you very much for watching. That brings us to the end of coverage here from Darkshire in London and our Monday Night Pauper. We shall see you on Wednesday. Take care.
Thank you, and goodbye.